Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our coverage here on YourLiveEvent.com. We are back at the Dale Scalarud Athletic Complex where the Hawley Nuggets are playing host to the Barnesville Trojans tonight. Both teams come in with a 1-0 victory in the first week. Pillager, the win for Barnesville, 36-6 on their home field over in Barnesville, as the Nuggets got the win to end a 10-game losing streak dating back to the last couple seasons here. 28-14 over Roseau, put together a great second half and sealed the deal to get the win and start out the season 1-0. We'll get a chance to chat with the coaches here in our pregame show. Peter Natz, head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, and also Brian Strand, head coach of the Barnesville Trojans. We'll visit with them. And just in a moment here, we're actually going to chat with the athletic director, Brett Schmidt, to kind of give us a little rundown of how the season's been going here so far. Obviously, a different season it's been with all the athletics on not only the varsity level, but every level that every school has had to endure throughout this season. So we'll chat about that and just the school itself in general and how things have gone in the first month and a half. And we'll get you set for the action here today. It's the Hawley Nuggets hosting the Barnesville Trojans on YourLiveEvent.com. We thank all of our sponsors for helping make the broadcast possible. And we will continue with more on our pregame show right after this from Dale Scalarud Athletic Complex.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With great facilities, small class sizes, dedicated teachers and support staff, and a variety of course offerings, make Hawley Public Schools the perfect choice for your son or daughter's educational setting. To learn more about Hawley Public Schools, including calendars, directory, menus, and athletic information, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or follow them on Facebook. Good luck, Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
Norman County Implement 218-784-2961. Talk with Chuck O'Neill. In effect now, the early order programs on Amity beet lifters, Woolrich field cultivators, and Amity air seeders. Take advantage of these early order programs, special financing, and savings. Norman County Implement Highway 9 North Ada has one remaining new versatile Delta track. Call for pricing and huge price discounts and financing programs. They thank you for your business. Highway 9 North Ada, Norman County Implement.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With over 950 students, the Hawley Public Schools strive to provide a personalized learning experience for each and every one of their students to be the best that they can be. The lessons taught at Hawley Public Schools will stay with students not just throughout their academic career, but through adulthood as well. For more information about the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or like them on Facebook at Hawley Nuggets. Good luck, Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
Back here on our pregame show for the Hawley Nuggets hosting the Barnesville Trojans here this evening, a 5 o'clock kickoff during the MEA break. In our pregame show, we get a chance to chat with Brett Schmidt, the athletic director here at Hawley High School. First off, thank you for taking some time to visit with us here today and kind of give us a little rundown of how things have been during this interesting year it's been to start off the year.
Oh, absolutely. This is a year unlike any other. I think we'll hear that nonstop. And, you know, it just feels good to be back on the field, back in the courts, and letting kids do what they've been waiting to do and looking forward to do.
And this is kind of a day-to-day transition for you guys, too. I mean, anything can happen at any given time, and even for the players themselves, you never know who's going to be stepping out on the field, whether it's starters or even just players that they're going to have each day.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody's got to be ready. You know, we can try to control the things that are happening inside the school, but outside of the school or even for the visiting team, it truly is. Yeah, every day we're just kind of waiting to see. And, you know, coaches have done great with trying to manage and adjust and do what they can with what they have day to day.
And like we mentioned too, the fact that this is not just the varsity level that you manage as athletic director, it's every single level, all the way down to junior high and beyond that, I'm sure too. So there's a lot of different elements that you have to be prepared for every single day, every hour.
Yes, absolutely. A multitude of moving parts, there's no doubt. And, you know, our junior high programs are going great, but yeah, you just worry every day if you're going to be able to get the games in and give them the opportunity that they're looking forward to.
And for people that aren't aware too, what does Hawley have going right now as a school in terms of you're at the hybrid level right now, right?
Correct. Yes, our elementary is full in person, and then our 8 through 12 is hybrid with our 7th graders coming every day. You know, we're hoping all the time to be able to transition back into full-time learning, but you know, things have got to change outside our doors to kind of try to help make that possible for us.
How's the response been with that? I mean, with even teachers, students, parents, and everybody.
Our students have been absolutely fantastic. Mask wearing is not a daily fight. Our, kids, they say they're adaptable, but they truly are. Our kids, they want to learn, they want to be part of something. I know our teachers have done a fantastic job transitioning to the online learning that they're offering kids when they're on their home days. And I feel like administration is so thankful to teachers and, aware of just the strain it takes on teachers as well. I mean, our teachers are basically teaching double every day, but their kids are number one, so that's what they want to do.
Absolutely, and you can see that too, I'm sure, as an administrator here for the Hawley High School. Brett Schmidt joining us, the athletic director, here on our pregame show as the Nuggets get set to face Barnesville here this afternoon. But a lot of, like you say, moving parts and a lot of different things this year compared to last year that you've had to face. And you've been an athletic director in the past a while back at Crosby Ironton. So I'm sure this is a whole different scenario compared to what you saw before.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad I had a chance to have a little bit of ground underneath me coming into this year. But yeah, every day is absolutely a learning process. Get to wear a couple other hats of transportation director and some stuff with facilities. So it is literally every day. It's exciting because you don't know what's coming. But yeah, I think we're all ready for, we don't want to say return to normal. We're returning to better, but for just things to settle down.
Yeah, and that's a last minute thing too. I know I heard a story of, I believe it was up north by Thief River, where one of their bus drivers got COVID that they got note of about 10 minutes before the route started. So you, as a transportation director, you have to be aware of that too and try and communicate as quick as possible.
Absolutely. The lucky thing that I found at Hawley is everybody steps up and does what needs to be done. And so I'm so thankful for the staff and the people that we have that support us in this community.
Awesome. Well, Brett, I appreciate you taking some time. I'll let you get back into the crowd here. That was the other thing, too, with the crowd. Has that been an issue at all with the ticket sales and stuff like that, having a limited crowd?
So far, so good. We wish we had more tickets for everybody. We want to get our student body here, make sure we get grandparents here. We're so thankful for you guys that we can stream this stuff live. But, it does feel different when you don't have the fans here. But we're very happy to have what we do have. And so far, people have been fantastic.
Sounds good. Brett, appreciate the time and enjoy the game here today.
Thanks so much.
Brett Schmidt joining us here, the athletic director at Hawley High School, on our pregame show. The Nuggets and the Trojans. When we come back, we'll get a chance to visit with Peter Natz, head coach of the Nuggets, right after this.
There's no way to count the number of sandwiches you've packed over the years. Hard to imagine this day would come. Yeah, there's still the same fields, the same roads, the same hard work. But now they're in someone else's hands. And you couldn't be more proud of who you're handing the farm to. No matter what the future holds, Ag Country is here to help you plan ahead.
Enbridge's Line 3 replacement project will create thousands of family-supporting jobs. This $2.6 billion private investment in Minnesota will be an economic boost, bring extra county tax revenue for years to come, and a secure and steady supply of North American oil to fuel Minnesota's quality of life. We're focused on safety and ready to get to work. Learn more at enbridge.com/line3us.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With preschool, before and after school enrichment, and community education, the Hawley Public Schools are able to provide learning opportunities for all students. With academic clubs, athletics, and fine arts, the Hawley Public Schools has the right club or organization for your student to become a member of. To learn more about programs and activities offered by the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us.
Peter Natz joining us on our pregame show as they come in off the victory last Friday night over Roseau to kick off the season. A lot of good things you saw, especially in that second half there, Coach, and a lot of things you can bring into this game here this afternoon against Barnesville.
Yeah, we talked about that during the week, coming into it on Monday at our meeting, that we gotta trust in each other and keep playing and play tough and trust our conditioning. We were down in the first half the other night and came back and we settled down on offense and on defense and just played ball, and that made it happen. And kind of ground them down wore them down in the second half, and that's what old-time Hawley football used to look like, and it was nice to see that come back again.
Absolutely. That, like you say, a short week of practice too to get set for a tough Barnesville team. But sounds like the practice went pretty good for you guys in these 4 days.
Yeah, we did. We had a good week. We got our conditioning done in the mornings, and we had some good work on Tuesday and Wednesday, and just it's our kids are ready to go again. It's sun shining today, and it's going to be a good one.
I'm guessing this will be another physical game, just like last week, huh?
Oh yeah, it's going to be physical, no doubt about it. They're going to be down a few guys today, but you know what? That doesn't change the way they play, and it won't change the way they play. And our kids have a different attitude and different mentality right now, and we had a really aggressive, hard-hitting week, or short week even, but we had a lot of contact and just need to get our kids more used to that, and we've had a good week doing that.
Biggest keys to success for you guys to pull off a victory here tonight?
We really can't put the ball on the ground. We got to hang on to it, and that's so cliche, but we got to hang on to the ball, reduce our penalties. We had way too many penalties last week too. We just don't turn the ball over and don't make any early season mistakes, and then I will be just fine. Regardless of how last week, for longer than we did last week, it's a success to me.
All right, Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
No, you got it. Thanks, man.
Peter Nance, head coach of Hawley, joining us here on the pregame show. Pregame show will continue as the Nuggets get set to do battle with the Barnesville Trojans on yourliveevent.com. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Kurt Fillion. I'll be here with Nathan Stoa for the broadcast once again. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll hear from Brian Strand. He's the head coach of the Barnesville Trojans. Both teams come in 1-0 into tonight's contest at Dale Scholarud Athletic Complex with R&J Broadcasting Incorporated.
Community Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, businesses from Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Community Co-op appreciates the business of all current and new customers. Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
Thinking about your financial future can get to be complicated. At Bighorn LLC, they simplify this with a step-by-step process that's easy to understand. Call Kurt Fillion at Bighorn to set up an appointment soon. 218-689-6880. He makes the planning process seem much less stressful while giving you tips and advice that line up with your goals. Retirement plans, investment strategies, financial protection, Medicare plans, they do it all at Bighorn. With office locations in Bemidji, Monaga, and Hawley. Call 218-689-6880 and book your appointment soon. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA and SIPC.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With great facilities, small class sizes, dedicated teachers and support staff, and a variety of course offerings, make Hawley Public Schools the perfect choice for your son or daughter's educational setting. To learn more about Hawley Public Schools, including calendars, directory, menus, and athletic information, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or follow them on Facebook. Good luck Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
Back here in our pregame show, let's get back into it and hear from another coach, Brian Strand, head coach of the Trojans.
Brian Strand, head coach of Barnesville, joining us here for our pregame show as they start out the season last week, a victory over Pillager 36-6 on their home field. And Coach, a nice way to open up the season for you guys. Tell me a little bit about that first game of the year and how things looked against Pillager for you.
You know, it's kind of like that scrimmage or the first game. You're going to make mistakes. You just hope to God you don't make enough mistakes to mess the game up. Kids played hard. You know, there were some things we talked about at halftime. You know, I feel that we're a very physical team. We've got a lot of strength and speed. I didn't necessarily feel we were using that to the best of our abilities in the first half. Their score came when we gave up a long return. After we scored, we let them return it down to about the 20-yard line, and then they went in and scored on that. But the rest of the night, they really didn't get that close. We had to play our style of football, and when you're starting some younger guys that haven't been a part of it, it takes them a while to get up to that speed, the speed factor part of it. So I think once they started figuring that out, I think that they started playing with a lot more energy, you know, and our style of football. We kind of like to play fast on both sides of the ball. Just, I mean, if you have speed, you either have it or you're chasing it. So we like to, you know, be the guys going faster. So
You mentioned 12 seniors you've got on this year's team and a lot of experience that comes back too. I'm sure that's a handy thing to have in a season like this where it's kind of a helter-skelter trying to get things put together.
It is, but again, we've got enough juniors that played as sophomores and some sophomores that started last year. Johnny Robidoux, a sophomore who now has been starting for 3 years on the offensive line, and he's just a tank. I mean, the kid's very, very good and plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. And so, I mean, when you kind of interweave some of those grades, you don't necessarily ever graduate the team. We're never senior dominated per se. So, they just kind of keep filtering it through. So that's what we like.
Some of the key positions too that you have coming back in terms of
Adam Coswell's our quarterback, and he's really good. Very quick, very smart, knows the offense. He's shorter, so he's very, very hard to find. But you talk about character of a kid, you talk about work ethic. Adam is the complete package. He is one of the better leaders I've ever seen. He's positive, hardworking. He's the guy that when the older kids come off, Adam is cheering the younger ones on. He's running up and down the field. Energy is felt by everybody. He just showing the kids how you lead and how you play the game. So.
And yeah, exactly. That's the way it should be on a team game too, is somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, he's our general.
Absolutely. Fun to see. The Nuggets you've got coming up here, a Thursday evening game. And I know this is always a battle with the Nuggets. It's, I'm sure, a hard-fought game every time. But what do you know about them this year coming into this one?
They're going to be very well coached. Peter does a very nice job defensively with them. Brent does a good job offensively with them. Brett does a good job. And, they're going to play us hard. We're playing for East Paddle, which is in memory of one of their coaches, and they play very hard for that. Their kids play hard. I mean, they're well coached. They do what they do well. Similar to us, we don't have a ton of formations. We don't have, we're not razzle dazzle, but what we do well. And I would say the same thing for them. They're always going to come prepared. Their fan base is going to be, loud. They're going to be enjoying the game, and we just want to be able to play it at our tempo.
Coming out of that first game, everybody healthy too with injuries and so on?
No injuries. Nope, no injuries.
Good deal. Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck to you guys here in the competition with Hawley.
Thank you very much.
It's Brian Strand, head coach of the Barnesville Trojans, joining us here in our pregame show as they are in town to take on the Hawley Nuggets in football action here today. It's on yourliveevent.com. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being with us. My name is Kurt Fillion. I'll be with Nathan Stoa here in just a moment. We'll get his headset all hooked up, get him ready to go. He's doing his little voice workouts to get set to go, and we'll be back right after this, and it's going to be prime time.
Norman County Implement 218-784-2961. Talk with Chuck O'Neill. In effect now, the early order programs on Amity Beet Lifters, Woolrich Field Cultivators, and Amity Air Seeders. Take advantage of these early order programs, special financing, and savings. Norman County Implement Highway 9 North Ada has one remaining new versatile Delta track. Call for pricing and huge price discounts and financing programs. They thank you for your business. Highway 9 North Ada, Norman County Implement.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With over 950 students, the Hawley Public Schools strive to provide a personalized learning experience for each and every one of their students to be the best that they can be. The lessons taught at Hawley Public Schools will stay with students not just throughout their academic career, but through adulthood as well. For more information about the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or like them on Facebook at Hawley Nuggets. Good luck, Nuggets, from the Hawley Public Schools.
Back here on our pregame show, it is the Hawley Nuggets hosting the Barnesville Trojans on yourliveevent.com. Game number 2 of the season for both of these teams. A victory for Barnesville over Pillager 36-6 to kick off the year. Hawley got the victory over Roseau last week 28-14, which you heard right here on yourliveevent.com. Kurt Fillion along with Nathan Stoa. We're back for another week. They allowed us to come back.
They let us back. I don't know. I feel grateful for the opportunity. They didn't kick us out after week 1.
That's right. So we are going to try this again, and this always a fun battle. It's a rivalry matchup between Barnesville and Hawley, and I'm sure it's going to be no different here this afternoon.
Yeah, it should be a fun game. I mean, a little different non-Friday night atmosphere here, but weather's good. Everything's clear, and should be an opportunity for both groups to get out there and just get another week of football under their belt.
We'll talk about it more when we come back, as we'll have the kickoff coming your way. It's the Nuggets and the Trojans on yourliveevent.com.
There's no way to count the number of sandwiches you've packed over the years. Hard to imagine this day would come. Yeah, there's still the same fields, the same roads, the same hard work. But now they're in someone else's hands. And you couldn't be more proud of who you're handing the farm to. No matter what the future holds, Ag Country is here to help you plan ahead.
Enbridge's Line 3 replacement project will create thousands of family-supporting jobs. This $2.6 billion private investment in Minnesota will be an economic boost, bring extra county tax revenue for years to come, and a secure and steady supply of North American oil to fuel Minnesota's quality of life. We're focused on safety and ready to get to work. Learn more at enbridge.com/line3US.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With preschool, before and after school enrichment, and community education, the Hawley Public Schools are able to provide learning opportunities for all students. With academic clubs, athletics, and fine arts, the Hawley Public Schools has the right club or organization for your student to become a member of. To learn more about programs and activities offered by the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us.
Community Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, businesses from Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Community Co-op appreciates the business of all current and new customers. Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
Thinking about your financial future can get to be complicated. At Bighorn LLC, they simplify this with a step-by-step process that's easy to understand. Call Kurt Fillion at Bighorn to set up an appointment soon. 218-689-6880. He makes the planning process seem much less stressful while giving you tips and advice that line up with your goals. Retirement plans, investment strategies, financial protection, Medicare plans, they do it all at Bighorn. With office locations in Bemidji, Monaga, and Hawley. Call 218-689-6880 and book your appointment soon. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA and SIPC.
We're getting set for the kickoff. The Nuggets will be booting away to get things going. It'll be Sam Burkle placing it on the tee to get it going this afternoon. We had some snowflakes coming down right when I got to the field here, a little after 3 o'clock, and now the sun is starting to shine. It looks like it's going to be a nice day here, Stoa.
Oh, this is perfect. This is beautiful. This is beautiful weather for this time of the year. You know, usually we'd be getting ready for playoff season, and this would be a perfect afternoon for it. So we'll do it here today in week 2.
And we are set to go. Thanks for joining us once again. Thanks to all the sponsors for helping make the broadcast possible here on yourliveevent.com. The boot is away, and it's going to be retrieved in the backfield here by the Trojans. They're going to take it right up the middle. Some blocks established, and still on his feet. There's going to be a tackle made there by the Nuggets, but not until they get into Nugget territory at the 46. Some emotion there by Cameron Heng, the junior, getting the reception to start things off.
Yeah, Heng did a good job of following his blockers, and right off the bat, this is the difference in the ball games the last couple of years has been the physicality of Barnesville versus Hawley, and this is an opportunity for the Nuggets to step up and match some of that physicality.
So at the Nuggets 45 is where the ball is going to be placed to get things going. First down and 10 for the Trojans. Some players out, including their quarterback, Tonsfeld. So in for him is going to be Noah Kraus. Handoff goes to the second man through, and a run right up the gut there for Braden Bredman. And Bredman's going to have plenty of room for that first down. Gains about 15 on the play.
got to communicate that the offense that Barnesville has been running the last couple years is a lot of ball deception back there, and trying to so the defense has to all stay home to their keys and do their job and fill those gaps. And on that one right away, again, that physicality of the Barnesville offensive line opened up a large hole.
So under center again will be Kraus. 3-man backfield, as we'll take a look at their offense here in just a moment. On a 1st down and 10 from the Nugget 29-yard line. Handoff goes to Hang. Hang is going to push his way forward for a gain of about 4 on the play. That'll make it a 2nd down and 6.
Much better that time in the Nugget defense, but Sam Helgeson coming up a little bit gimpy after that play, so hopefully he can shake that off, as he's one of the more experienced players against these to see and to recognize what's going on in that linebacker core.
Wyatt Suter, a sophomore, in place of one of the ends that's out, Caden Zenzen. Johnny Robideau is senior lineman up front, Travis Afeld, along with Brady Kroll as their center. They've got Tim Wells and Eric Ackerson also up on that line, as we've got a penalty flag coming out, as it's going to be going against the Trojans. A motion penalty here will drop them back 5 yards. So a penalty on the play for 5 yards. Drops them to the 30-yard line. 10:49 to play in the first quarter, just underway here at Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex in Hawley. The Nuggets hosting the Trojans of Barnesville on yourliveevent.com. Under center is Kraus, the 3-man backfield once again. We'll look at the rest of the backfield here in just a moment. Fake handoff. He's going to roll it himself. Gets to the 25. He's going to be almost wrapped up at the 22. Gets another step or two up to the 21, where he's going to be pushed out of bounds. So a gain of 9. Got some of that yardage back. Comes up just a little bit shorter. Is it right at the 1st down? I think he did. He got the 1st.
Yep, they're giving it to him. Good, good ball deception there. Backup quarterback in, and again, defensive line and linebacker core. They have to stay true to their keys, recognize what's happening, and then flow to the ball after they've made their reads.
So it will be a 1st down and 10, just in front of the 20-yard line here for the Trojans. In the backfield, right behind the quarterback, John Roller, a sophomore, as one of their running backs. Wyatt Roller off to his right and Hang off to his left. Handoff goes Hang. Hang got a couple of lead blocks there, able to dive forward to the 15-yard line. And we got a penalty flag coming in late as well after a gain of 5 for the Trojans.
That time they ran right behind the pulling lineman, which was Robidoux there. He's been playing, he's been starting since he's an 8th grader, so a lot of experience there. Behind the big fella, and he's seen a lot of great football action and deep into the last few seasons as they've made runs down to the dome. So he's a big key for what they do along the offensive line.
So they're still chatting here, the officials are, with that penalty flag that's out around the 3-yard line that came from the back judge. 10:15 to play in the first quarter, no score, but the Trojans started out in great field position at the Hawley 45-yard line to get things going right away in this one. We got a personal foul going against the Hawley Nuggets, so this is going to push it forward after the play. It's after the play, so they'll get the 5-yard gain plus the penalty, which would have been 15 yards. Instead, it's going to be half the distance to the goal. So it's going against the defense, a penalty of 8 yards. We'll make it a 1st down and 10, or 1st and goal.
Yeah, up against a state-ranked team here. Hawley's got to play this game aggressive but clean, and they can't handle giving them extra yardage on penalties.
Faking the handoffs. Kraus will take it up the middle, find some room, and able to dive in for the touchdown. Trojans score right away, just over 2 minutes into this ball game, and make it a 6-0 lead over the Nuggets.
Exactly what Barnesville was looking for coming off the kickoff. Got a big return and then marched their way down. The only negative play being that of the penalty, which they recovered from awfully quickly. So time for the Nugget D-line and linebacking core to kind of shake out some of those cobwebs and decide whether or not they're going to match the physicality that the Trojans bring.
So a Kraus 8-yard touchdown run gets it a 6-0 lead for the Trojans, and they will try for the extra points here, going for 2. As Kraus under center. 3 in the backfield. They'll pitch it out left side to Hang. Hang gets a nice lead block up there by Robideau, and it's going to be in for 2 to make it 8-0 on your community co-op scoreboard in favor of Barnesville. 9:58 to play in this first quarter from Hawley on yourliveevent.com.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With great facilities, small class sizes, dedicated teachers and support staff, and a variety of course offerings, make Hawley Public Schools the perfect choice for your son or daughter's educational setting. To learn more about Hawley Public Schools, including calendars, directory, menus, and athletic information, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or follow them on Facebook. Good luck Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
Back here in Hawley, it's an 8-0 Barnesville lead. Capping off a 6-play drive, it's an 8-yard touchdown run for Kraus. With 9:58 to play first quarter, the 2-point conversion is good for Heng. So 8-0 the lead, and good execution there by the Trojans, Nate, to get things started here this afternoon.
Yeah, they did what they wanted to do the entire drive. I mean, every play went for positive yardage, and again, I think the biggest thing for Hawley today is they've got to stand up to that physicality along both lines. They've got, in order to, it's a lot with that offense to make the reads, but then again, with the physicality and the commitment to that physicality that Barnesville brings, Hawley really has to step up and match that.
So we will see the Trojans kick this one away. Back to kick is going to be Travis Ayfield. It's going to be taken at the 20-yard line. Right up the gut go the Nuggets, and they'll get it to the 40-yard line. That was Justin Koski on a nice return. Nuggets will start first down and 10 from their own 40-yard line with 9:54 to play in the first.
Good field position on the return, and now it's time to churn a little bit of clock here and find successful plays. I don't think they necessarily have to be big chunk plays. Just Hawley's got to keep the Barnesville offense off the field and keep with positive plays in order to gain first downs.
So Nuggets will set up shotgun formation. Sunday, the quarterback, receivers off to each side as they will hand it off to the man in the backfield. That is Koski. Koski tries to cut back into the middle, spins, and a couple of guys draped on him there. He was able to fall forward to the 47-yard line, so a gain of 7 on the play for the Nuggets.
Good start, positive play, big chunk play there as they decided to spread out the Barnesville defense a little bit with the 2 wide receivers, one split to each side. So well-executed play, good blocks along the edge, and Justin ran hard. He's nursing a little bit of a shoulder injury here, so we'll have to see how that wears on him throughout the game.
Groton off to the left, and Carson Brew is over to the right side as the receivers for the Nuggets. Handoff goes up the middle. This is going to be Koski. He had Magnuson in the backfield with him as a wing. Nothing doing there. The Trojan defense steps up big and gets in the backfield, forces a loss of 3 on the play for the Nuggets.
Yeah, they got to get a better push up the middle on that one. Barnesville came through pretty clean, so big third down here. I assume it's 2 downs to get 3, or to get the 3 yards. But either way here, got to make sure we get a better push inside against that stout defensive line.
And in fact, with the forward motion, he was able to get to the line of scrimmage, and that's where the ball will be placed. So no gain on the play. It'll make it a 3rd down and 3. Handoff goes to Koski. This time they bust through the line. Holy cow, powering his way in there to get the tackle. Johnny Rabideau, the sophomore for the Barnesville Trojans, to come up with a nice tackle in the backfield. That was a loss of 3.
That's a big play for Barnesville, and he came through basically untouched, and that's hard to do. I believe he's playing middle linebacker right there, so we gotta account for him wherever he's at.
So it'll be a 4th down and 7. Here's what it's going to be for the Nuggets, and it's going to be Sam Burkle to drop back to punt this one away. Heng will go back to receive. Kick is up, and this one is going to be dropping at the 32-yard line. We'll take a Nugget bounce back to the 27 is where it's going to be placed. 1st down and 10 for Barnesville with 7:51 to play in the first quarter.
All right, we'll see if any adjustments made along that D-line as the Nuggets here come back out. Again, it's a tough offense to read, a lot of ball deception there, which is why each individual guy has to stay home and do their job and trust that the other guys along the defense are going to do their job as well. And once you make that read, then you can flow to the football and gang tackle.
So Barnesville will have it at their own 27-yard line. Started the first offensive series at the Hawley 45 after a nice kickoff return. This one, no return on the punt. Kraus under center will hand it off. Or is he going to keep it himself? We got a clogged up in the backfield there and able to march his way forward. It was Kraus holding on to the football. Nice fake on that play. Got a couple players to sell out, but Nuggets able to make the tackle, but still a 6-yard gain on the play will make it a 2nd down and 4.
If they run the offense and execute it correctly, we're going to be wrong a couple times on the original ball carrier, but that's the whole purpose behind the offense. And there's no better example of that offense than being able to watch the way Elk River runs this, and that's kind of where they decided to borrow some of the offensive philosophies from.
Man in motion is going to be Heng, and we've got a penalty flag coming here. Just as Heng started to go in motion, the penalty flag came out from that far sideline, and we got an encroachment penalty here against the defense. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Nuggets, and that'll make it a 1st down.
The task is too big here today for Hawley to be giving free yards, so they've got to stay disciplined, and they've got to find that mental toughness to do just that. Two defensive penalties here, one personal foul, and now the encroachment. You just got to do a little bit better job of staying disciplined.
That was one thing Coach Nats talked about in the pregame, was the fact that they need to limit the turnovers and limit the penalties. The cliche talk that you always hear from coaches, but it's true. It's going to be a huge factor in this one, as that is going to be a 10-yard gain for the Trojans. Another 1st down, their 5th of the ball game already. 6:48 to play, 1st quarter. Barnesville leads 8-0 on yourliveevent.com. Live from Hawley today. The Nuggets hosting the Trojans. Thanks for tuning in wherever you might be for this action, as Kraus will get under center. 3 in the backfield again for him. We got another new player into the ball game, as Andrew Peterson, a sophomore, at a running back on that right side. They'll pitch it out right. This is going to be Roller rolling his way forward across the 50-yard line up to the Hawley 44 is where he's taken down. So a gain of 7 yards on the play will make it a 2nd down and 3.
Krosh busted through that time, but was, his angle was that to be behind where he ended up coming out of the play behind the running back as they pitched to the near side of the field. It's one of those were just, speed kills in the game of football, and had a nice head start, even though Darren was able to work his way through the line.
So a 2nd down and 3, as we got another new player up front there. That's Spencer Schumacher, another sophomore, up on that line as a guard on the left side. Man in motion, and again they get the Nuggets to jump across. That was Wyatt Dunham trying to get a head start there and leaping forward, trying to come in on a blitz and get a good push, but instead the hard count got the Nuggets again and forces another 1st down for the Barnesville Trojans.
That's going to come down to discipline every time it's happened on the hard count, which is just starting motion on some of their plays out to the edge. And, discipline's going to be a big factor. And, it's a good thing for the coaches to have to be able to focus on with the kids and keep reminding them, as that's definite growth for the future.
At the Nuggets 39-yard line, handoff goes to the left halfback there. That was Andrew Peterson. Peterson able to push his way forward with the help of that offensive line up to the 36, a gain of 3.
It was a better job that time, too, by the defense of plugging the hole, reading the play and plugging the hole with the, finding where that lead blocker was going, where the ball was at, and making the play. So positive play defensively there to keep them to 3 or less, but now we got to find that discipline and not give up, make another stop.
Everybody gets set here for the Trojans as they'll hand it off. They do hand it up the middle. Again, just those quick job of getting the handoff right away and then selling it too, coming around the side there. Kraus, I thought he kept the football for a moment, but went right up the middle, and they're going to gain enough for another Barnesville 1st down. Their 4th of this offensive series, 7th already of the ball game. 4:45 to play in the 1st quarter, and an 8-0 Barnesville lead as they continue marching.
Biggest key, one of the biggest keys to running this offense successfully is the discipline and the buy-in from the running backs not getting the ball to carrying out their fakes, and that also includes the quarterback.
Kraus will keep it this time, fakes that first handoff, bounces to the outside, gets some room to the 20, and he's going to be wrapped up and taken down at about the 15-yard line. It started back near the 30, so a gain of about 14 on the play for the Trojans. And yes, yet another 1st down in this offensive series. So their 8th play of the drive, 5 of their plays already 1st downs here for the Trojans. As they continue wearing down this defense, Wyatt Dunham is going to trot over to the sideline here. We're going to see a new player coming to the game. Gavin Knutson, a sophomore, will take the place of Dunham at a linebacker spot. 4:21 to play in the 1st quarter. Trojans continue to march. They've maintained possession for the majority of this 1st quarter. It was just over 2 minutes that the Nuggets had possession in their first offensive series. That was a 3-and-out that resulted in the punt. So Kraus will get set under center. There's 3 in the backfield. He'll get the trio of blockers. He'll follow right behind them, and his offensive line curls to the right side, goes through that B gap and tries to find a little bit extra room, but not a whole lot happening, but still a decent gain there, a gain of 7.
Yeah, again, like it was mentioning before we had the injury time out there, it's just that discipline and buy-in factor out of all the guys that aren't getting the carries that time to carry out their fakes and to make sure that they're selling what's not happening in the play. I mean, that's the deception in that is a big sell to how this offense works.
We'll try it again. Kraus handoff. This is going to go to a Roller. Roller will curl across, and he's going to be tackled on the play by the defense. Jacob Hegna comes in to get the wrap up. A gain of just a couple, so it'll result in a 3rd down situation for the Trojans. Just not something they've had the opportunity for here already in this first quarter.
No, Hegna did a good job filling the hole there. If Barnesville's had an opportunity where it would make sense to throw the ball, this would be a good opportunity for him here. But, I mean, I wouldn't, I guess. They haven't had anything really stopping them in front, but in these 3rd and short situations, they have those opportunities to sneak their tight ends out to the corner, to the pylons for a touchdown here or a first down in other situations.
Noah Kraus, the quarterback, under center, pitches it out right side, and this is going to be Wyatt Roller. Roller, shoestring tackle, but not until he gets that first down. Needed 1, and he got about 5 yards on that gain. So another first down will make it a 1st and goal this time for the Trojans. 2:47 to play in the first quarter. They lead 8-0 over the Hawley Nuggets here on yourliveevent.com. Trojans missing a few players with all that's going on throughout this season. Adam Tonsfeld, who usually starts at the quarterback position, out tonight. Kraus having to step into that position. They also had their end, Zenzen, who is out on that right side. So they've got a few players in there. I think there's a couple more as well that are out here today due to the COVID situation. Handoff goes to Heng. Heng tries to get all the way through the end zone, but came up just a little bit short, so it'll be a 2nd down and goal now for the Trojans. And they continue moving that football, just going right, left, and wearing down that defense up front.
Yep, that offensive line is controlling the show right now for Barnesville.
Under 2 minutes to play first quarter. So nearing 6 minutes of time of possession for this offensive series. Their 12th play of the drive. Handoff goes up the middle, and Kraus, he's going to keep it himself, in for the touchdown.
Kept it simple and picked the A-gap off the right side of his center that time, and it was untouched into the end zone.
So 6 more on the board for the Trojans as they lead 14-0, and we'll try the extra point attempt here. So a 1-yard touchdown run for Kraus up the middle, his 2nd touchdown of the day. He'll roll to the right side, trying for the 2-point conversion, dumps it back, Roller, gets it for the catch, and he stays in bounds to make it a 16-0 lead on your community co-op scoreboard in favor of the Barnesville Trojans over the Hawley Nuggets. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more in this first quarter of play. 1:37 to play. It's Barnesville 16, Hawley nothing on your community co-op scoreboard.
Norman County Implement 218-784-2961. Talk with Chuck O'Neill. In effect now, the early order programs on Amity beet lifters, Woolrich field cultivators, and Amity air seeders. Take advantage of these early order programs, special financing, and savings. Norman County Implement Highway 9 North Ada has 1 remaining new versatile Delta track. Call for pricing and huge price discounts and financing programs. They thank you for your business. Highway 9 North Ada, Norman County Implement.
Back here at Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex in Hawley, the Nuggets trailing 16-0 to the Barnesville Trojans. First quarter, 1:37 to play. A 12-play drive capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Noah Kraus, the quarterback, his 2nd touchdown of the day. He had a 8-yard touchdown run back in the first offensive series of the game. That was just 6 plays. But boy, they've moved the football very well here, Nathan. They've got 9 first downs in this first quarter of play.
I think all credit and praise that should be coming from their sideline should be heaped onto the offensive linemen, as they've completely dominated the line of scrimmage so far. I mean, I think the lowest or the shortest gaining play they had was a 3-yard gain, and other than that, it's been real big chunks behind that O-line.
Kick goes to the 21-yard line, where it's picked up by the Nuggets special teams, and that was Burkle. Burkle will get it up to the 34, so a gain of 13 on the special teams, the kickoff return. And the Nuggets will have it at the 34-yard line of their own with 1:31 to play in the first quarter.
Positivity will be found here in how long this possession goes. Got to pick up a couple first downs and find some positivity here on the offensive side of the ball. Get a little bit of momentum back.
And I believe I said roller on that 2-point conversion. It was actually Andrew Peterson who had the grab in the end zone from Kraus to get the 2-point conversion. So pass to the left side. This is going to be Brady Groton. Groton is wrapped up right away. The defense right there on the spot. The 39-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. So it'll make it a 2nd down and 5 here for the Nuggets.
Got little slant kind of to a stop route there that where Brady was able to hook up with Cole Sunday. Brady's got good length and the ability to jump and go after and get a ball. So took a year off of football last year, but coming back, as the year goes on, should develop into a nice target for Cole Sunday.
That was Brody Gray for Barnesville coming up with the tackle as a sophomore in that cornerback position. Handoff coming to Burkle, tries to bounce to the outside, cuts back in, wrapped up on the play by the Trojans at the 43-yard line, so a gain of 4. It'll make it a 3rd down and 1 for Hawley.
Yep, another good play there. A little elusiveness out of Sam to make the first guy miss, and actually he had to get away from a couple guys there as there was a few whiffed blocks. So he had 3 Trojans staring him down and was able to come out with some positive yardage and get us into a 3rd and short.
There was Noah Kraus with the tackle. Braden Bredman, who was not on the starting lineup for the defense here tonight. It was supposed to be Tonsfeld in that other safety position, but he's stepping in nice too as a sophomore. Handoff goes right side. Burkle tries to bounce to the outside, and that's not going to work. Another nice wrap up on the outside by the Barnesville defense. That was Joey Mark, the senior, getting his arms around and forcing a 4th down situation again for the Nuggets.
Might have been too much dancing on that one as he made the first guy miss, and you got to make one cut and get up the field against the defense as stout as Barnesville's. So that might have been the difference in the first down versus 4th and short when we come back.
End of the first quarter on your Community Co-op scoreboard. Barnesville 16, Hawley nothing. You're watching Hawley Nugget football on yourliveevent.com.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With over 950 students, the Hawley Public Schools strive to provide a personalized learning experience for each and every one of their students to be the best that they can be. The lessons taught at Hawley Public Schools will stay with students not just throughout their academic career, but through adulthood as well. For more information about the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or like them on Facebook at Hawley Nuggets. Good luck, Nuggets, from the Hawley Public Schools.
Back here at Dale Schuyler Athletic Complex, the Nuggets trailing 16-0 after 1 quarter of play, in a quarter that was definitely dominated in terms of time possession by the Barnesville Trojans there, Nathan, where they held the ball very well and did some great things, especially up front. That offensive line really moving things for their backs.
As Hawley lines up in punt formation, they're going to have, so far as the quarter starts, 8 offensive plays and 2 of them were punts.
So they boot it away. Burkle will go to the left side. It'll bounce at about the 25-yard line, where it goes out of bounds at the 24 is where it's going to be at. So, yeah, like you say, another 3 and out here. And that will result in Barnesville taking over at their own 24-yard line.
Good punt there by Sam. That was, flip field position here a little bit. And now, again, another opportunity for the defense to learn from the first 2 drives and see if they can't make a couple adjustments and find a few positive plays.
18 plays for the Trojans in their first 2 offensive possessions. 8 for the Nuggets here, and 9 first downs for the Trojans in those first 2 offensive series. Triples in the backfield here. They'll fake the handoff. Kraus going to keep it himself. He'll get to the 25-yard line where he's taken down after a short gain of about 1. It'll make it a 2nd down and 9 for the Trojans.
Yeah, Johnny Vetter with a good read there from his middle linebacker position. He was able to kind of get through the mess there and bring down the ball carrier for basically no gain. So there's that, chalk up that first positive play here, and now Hawley's going to have to add a couple more to it to see if they can't get the football back.
Yeah, come up with some hard hits here against this Trojan team and try and get that offensive line off balance, which is going to be a task by the looks of it here as they come up confidently to that line. Under center again is Kraus with his three backs in the backfield. He'll hand it off to Hang. Hang is met in the backfield. Nice defense there. Coming up, Jacob Hegna from that linebacker spot. Read it very well, wrapped up nicely, and took him down. Maybe a short gain on the play. It'll be a third down. Well, it's actually right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9 is what it's going to be.
Another positive play for the defense. Exactly what was needed right here. Hegna making his read and scraping across and coming up with the play. In a lot of ways, right now, our linemen just need to make sure that they are occupying somebody from that Barnesville offensive line so that they can't just discard him and get up the field and add more downfield blocking right now.
Under center comes Kraus. He'll get his offense set, back to pass, and he's going to look to dump it out. Instead, nothing there. Pressure put on by the Nuggets, and a sack in the backfield for the Hawley defense.
Yeah, there was they faked the handoff and the flow to the right side of the field, to our far side from the camera, and we're going to bring it back to a little screen pass off to the near side of the field. It was read well, and the play just didn't develop as it was designed. Again, the best 3 plays there in consecutive order for the Hawley defense here so far in the first half. Should get them the football back.
That'll be a 4th down and about 13, maybe 14 yards, in fact. And they're going to be dropping back to punt here for the Trojans. Is going to be number 80. That's Tate Inninger. But a timeout first.
I think we got number 30 back there.
Oh, was it 30?
The punter, yep.
Oh, okay. It looked like an 80 when I was coming across.
He's about half the size of Tate.
Yeah, I was gonna
say. About half the size of Tate. Tate's put some time in that weight room, and he's a big boy that's been on our scouting report for the last year in the winter. So it didn't look as much like him.
So timeout taken. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more from Hawley as the Nuggets trail 16-0 to Barnesville on yourliveevent.com.
There's no way to count the number of sandwiches you've packed over the years. Hard to imagine this day would come. Yeah, there's still the same fields, the same roads, the same hard work. But now they're in someone else's hands. And you couldn't be more proud of who you're handing the farm to. No matter what the future holds, Ag Country is here to help you plan ahead.
Trojans getting set to punt, and Mr. Stoa was correct. See, you're always the intelligent one when it comes to this broadcast.
I just like to be right once in a while.
The left-footed boot. I like that. Andrew Peterson, that is, the sophomore, with the punt, and it's going to go out of bounds. In fact, it's actually going to stay on the Barnesville side at the 40 is where it's going to be placed. So a 3 and out it was, forced by the Hawley defense. And like you say, Nate, that was something they definitely needed here on the defense to get that rolling.
Now they have to stack together, at least a few first downs. Obviously want points on the board, get the wind at their back, so they've looked to spread them out so far. Maybe they throw a little bit here, but definitely needed to get a turnover on downs or get a 3 and out, in the punt situation, and now had to come back and keep the ball into their possession for a while.
Split backs in the backfield, handoff, Koski straight up the middle, but it popped out. It's a fumble, and it's going to be recovered by Hang. He would have been close to that first down as well, but the defense there, and they forced the fumble. It's going to be a turnover against the Hawley Nuggets and the first turnover of the ball game.
Yeah, it's just when it rains, it pours, and unfortunately there, the defense did their job, and then the offensive line did their job. Good play call. Justin had a good burst through the middle, but without seeing a replay, what it looked to me was the perfect was a pretty perfect tackle as the helmet went right on the football and popped it out of there. So. Defense is going to have to step up again and see if they can't, force Barnesville into a punting situation.
So a fumble, a first down and 10 at the 27-yard line. And again, the defense stepping up big, coming up with a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Not a whole lot doing there for the Barnesville offense as Hang was the one hanging onto the football. In fact, they might have lost. They did. They lost a yard on that play, just a little bit. It'll be a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Dunham. I don't know if Wyatt got a hand on the ball carrier at all at the bottom of that pile, but he definitely made a pile that consisted of him and a couple offensive linemen, and then Crocious was able to kind of clean that play up from the backside there, and another positive play for the defense.
So it will be Kraus under center again. 3 in the backfield here. He'll roll to the right side. Pressure put on by Magnuson. Magnuson wraps him up and gets the sack. The defense coming alive for the Nuggets, and much needed after giving up a couple touchdowns early on in this ball game.
Yeah, again, another positive play, and that's exactly what they're looking for, which just means that, again, a lot of what we talked about last Friday night in the Roseau game was seeing that growth. We talked about it last week from last year to this year, and now we've got to talk about it from first quarter to second quarter, and kind of getting a wake-up call here as Barnesville punched him in the mouth early, but that was a good coverage play by Burkle and the outside linebacker, and then Ethan with a big sack.
So the handoff is going to go right up the middle again, and that defense is just responding there. Like you say, they're coming to life as the handoff is going to John Roller, the sophomore, trying to go straight up the middle. He gained maybe a couple back, but it's going to be a 4th down and 14 for the Trojans with a 7:52 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, and Alex Skank got there and helped clean that play up in the backfield. So, again, we're seeing the defensive linemen and the linebackers making their reads, staying home, staying disciplined, and, again, stacking positive plays together, and now it's the offense's turn.
So Peterson will get set to boot it away again. This one a high booming kick that is going to drop right around the 50-yard line and goes out of bounds at that point. So it will be placed right at the 50-yard line with 7:28 to play in the first half. The Nuggets will try and get some offense rolling here like they've done with their defense now so far.
So positive plays again here. Try to find those plays 3 yards at a time, 3 yards or more at a time. Maybe the playbook opens up just a little bit with the wind at their back. At least it's an option that has to be considered. But right now, again, it's just keep the ball in your possession and let's find a way to move the sticks a couple times.
Wing off to the left side, split backs in the backfield. Handoff goes to Koski, the second man through. Tried to find a block, but not a whole lot doing. Coming in to disrupt that play was Brody Gray from that right side as the cornerback read it well, stayed low, and came up with a good stick there right near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I know that's a staple. That's a staple of the Hawley playbook for going on a decade and a half now. But that one, it's going to have to develop a lot quicker than that in order to find success. The offensive line is going to have to hold their blocks quite a bit better than they did on that play.
The wing off to the left side here for the Nuggets is Johnny Vetter. The handoff goes to Koski straight up the gut, and he is going to be met right away by the defense of the Trojans, and that was Johnny Robideau, the sophomore, getting his numbers right into him there. He was able to chug forward for a gain of maybe 2. It'll be a 3rd down and 8 for the Nuggets.
Yeah, he did a good job reading the play, scraping down to the hole, and filling cleanly here. So now Hawley sends in a new set. It looks like Groton and Brew return to the field, and I think that's Burkle's going to be out there as the tailback.
So 3rd and long it will be. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers off to the right and a wing as well. So overloading that right side is the side they got more to work with. They'll pitch it off left side instead to Burkle. Burkle fakes right, goes left. Nice move there, Shifty. Getting away from the defense. Shugs one off, gets another down the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, I think. They're going to place right before the 20, but it's a 1st down for the Nuggets. Their first down of the night and a huge 3rd down conversion for the Hawley Nuggets.
Yeah, the only thing better than the play call was the juke that Sam put on the initial defender there. Offensive line did a great job selling the play. Cole delivered the ball on the money. Sam made the first guy miss and then turned on the Jets. Great play call, great execution.
Same formation, 2 off to the right with their wing as well. Pitch off right side. Burkle this time tries to get some speed. He's wrapped up in the backfield. And this time the defense of the Trojans coming through. That's Brady Kroll, the senior, wrapping up and forcing him a loss on a play of 6.
Big positive play, big negative play back to back here, but benefit to it is it's 2nd down here, so they got a chance to dig out of the hole that play put them in. Gotta get a bigger piece of the defensive lineman there than the offensive did that. What am I saying here? You got to block. How about that? Let's just clean it up and let's block.
Hey, it happens, man.
I got an eye roll out of Mr. Gunkelman over here. I mean, after high praise earlier, I know
too much pressure.
It's tough.
Tossing it left
Go get
side,
it, Brady.
Broughton. It's going to be just overthrown out of his reach. The defense was pretty close, but it looked like Groton had a decent little stride there on the defense in the backfield, but incomplete pass will result in a 3rd down and long with 5:16 to play in the first half.
Yeah, ball was pretty close to being put on Groton's hands, and pretty well run route there, and he gave himself a chance to go get it. So
prior to this offensive series, only 9 plays of offense. They've got 5 now in this drive. This will be their 6th coming up for a total of 15. The Trojans 26 plays of offense here. They punted a couple times. They have 2 touchdowns, both of them for Kraus. A 16-0 lead in the first half. We're just over midway point of the second quarter. Shotgun formation, toss is going to be into the middle on a slant route. Went through the hands of the defender there. Brody Gray had good position. I think he was more so watching the route to see where the player was, which is the good thing to do as a cornerback, and then looking for the ball, but it went right through his hands and down on a hard throw there by Sunday.
Yeah, he put a little bit of juice on that one. They connected on that play on the far side of the field last game against Roseau. That time I think he led Carson just a little too much, and I'll be honest, it might be one of those that was okay to connect on because Mr. Kraus had him all lined up in his sights, and it might not have been pretty had he held onto the ball.
I was going to say, yeah, it's better to have that going at that rate instead of just a little rainbow shot. Rolling left side, Nuggets trying for it on a 4th down. The pass is going to be over the head of Brew, incomplete pass, and that'll be a turnover on downs for the Nuggets, and the Trojans will take over at their 29-yard line.
That's a tough spot to put Carson in over there, tight on the sideline as that play developed. It's not a guy that's going to maybe go up over the top of anybody to get, but he had Brady one-on-one at the post where that's more, whether it's the best or most perfect situation, he's the guy that's got a chance to go up and get a jump ball out of the 2 of them, whereas Carson's got a little bit more speed and wiggle to him once he catches the ball. So not sure if it was the read they were looking for, but a few positive plays out of that, including the 3rd down by Burkle. So hopefully something to build off of for the Nugget O.
They're getting a little bit more of a surge there on the offense. Their defense is probably helping with that to get the confidence boosted up. Left side, here's Peterson. Peterson finds some room down the sideline, breaks a couple of tackles to the 30, 20, 10, and a touchdown for the Trojans with 4:54 to play in the first half. First play of the offensive series. And it doesn't take long for the Trojans to strike once again here in this second quarter.
Came to the near side of the field, and he was basically untouched all the way through. Had to shake one tackle, had to shake a little one, an ankle tackle there, and then Joey Ockery had another shot at him, but not the type of place where you really want your defensive end to even have a shot at him. That just shows what kind of push the O-line got on the play.
So 4:54 to play second quarter. And just a 12-second drive on one play there for Andrew Peterson, getting the 71-yard touchdown run as they will try for the 2-point conversion here. So they lead 22-0. Kraus, pass right side, dumps it off to Hang on the edge, gets in for the 2 to make it 24-0 on your community co-op scoreboard in favor of the Barnesville Trojans here this evening. We're back with more from Dale Scholarud Athletic Complex in Hawley. Thanks for tuning in to our coverage of high school football on yourliveevent.com.
Enbridge's Line 3 replacement project will create thousands of family-supporting jobs. This $2.6 billion private investment in Minnesota will be an economic boost, bring extra county tax revenue for years to come, and a secure and steady supply of North American oil to fuel Minnesota's quality of life. We're focused on safety and ready to get to work. Learn more at enbridge.com/line3us.
Back here in Hawley, the Nuggets trail 24-0 to the Barnesville Trojans on a one-play drive that lasted just 12 seconds. Was all it took for Andrew Peterson to get down the field, 71 yards. 2-point conversion from Kraus to Hang was good. And we are at the 24-0 mark as the result, so they convert all the 2-point conversions here this afternoon too, Nathan, which is always a crucial part of a game I think a lot of people overlook.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the point afters. That's why I always like seeing a high school team that has a kicker, so you can feel a lot more. You feel a lot more stable when you can put that one on the board easy every time.
Line drive taken by Koski at the 24-yard line. Squirts his way through. He'll get to the 35 where he's stood up by the defense, the Barnesville special teams, and that's where Hawley will take over at their own 35-yard line with 4:47 to play in the first half.
All right, there were some positive signs on the offense last possession. Let's see if we can't stack a few more of those together. Looks like they're going with the two wide receivers set here with Burkle in the backfield to start on first down.
16 plays of offense for the Hawley Nuggets here tonight. Nearly half of those were in that last offensive series where they had 7 on a turnover on downs. Shotgun formation, left side pass to Brew, gets it, pulls it right out of the air there at the 40-yard line, and up to the 43 is where he's going to be taken down by the Barnesville defense. So it's going to be a gain of 8 on the play. It'll make it a 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, Twins to the left side of the field with Brew in the slot on that one, and they ran that route combination last series to set up the screen. This time they ran it and they hit Brew on that little bubble and made a guy miss, and positive gain here to bring 2nd and short. So playbook is pretty wide open in a 2nd and short situation.
2 receivers off to the right, shotgun formation again. They'll toss this one right side this time to Brew. Brew trying to get a blocker there by Groton. He had a couple of guys to try and choose from, so it was a 1-on-2 situation, and Hang was able to win that battle and force a loss of a couple for the Hawley Nuggets to make it a 3rd down and 4.
That ball's got to be right on that's got to be right on Carson's numbers in order for him to really turn that up. It's a lot to ask of Brady. Wide receiver, running back, doesn't matter what position he is. It's a lot to ask him to hold that block for as long as it took that play to develop, as Carson kind of had to reach up high to get that one.
You got an official. No, it's a timeout. Barnesville taking a timeout. Trojans want to chat a little bit and give their guys a breather with 3:38 to play in the 2nd quarter. A 24-0 lead for Barnesville over Hawley. You're listening to high school football action on yourliveevent.com and viewing it online as well. Thank you for tuning in to our coverage here today.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With preschool, before and after school enrichment, and community education, the Hawley Public Schools are able to provide learning opportunities for all students. With academic clubs, athletics, and fine arts, the Hawley Public Schools has the right club or organization for your student to become a member of. To learn more about programs and activities offered by the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us.
Wherever you're at today, we thank you for tuning in, viewing here online as well at yourliveevent.com. All home games for the Hawley Nuggets we've got for you, not only football but also volleyball and basketball, so you'll be able to watch those along with the audio play-by-play that we've got. Kurt Fillion here with Nathan Stoa bringing you the coverage here today on a 3rd down and 4. It'll be for the Nuggets from their own 42-yard line. Handoff goes to Burkle. Burkle bounces to the outside. Oh, trying to walk the tightrope there and fell just out of balance at about the 50-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for the Nuggets, but almost able to make that a huge play there for the Nuggets.
Yeah, you wish you would have been able to tightrope the sideline. I think he got tackled that time by the crown of the field as he was trying to fight coming downhill a little bit and stay in bounds, and it just wasn't to be. But, if he had a chance to maybe outrun the safety's angle on that one, but at least it would have been another 10, 15 yards, if not all the way to the house.
2 receivers this time to the left as the ball is placed on the right hash mark. Wing off to that side. Magnuson rolling left is going to be Sunday. Tries to air it out to that right side for Groton. Went a little bit underthrown, so an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10. It's at the Hawley 48-yard line.
I think Cole had a little bit more time than he realized on that one, and he's got to flip his hips and set his feet a little bit more. And Brady's route was good enough to be open to haul that pass in. He's got to put that one. He's got to give him a chance. It's got to be thigh high or higher, and give him a chance to haul that one in.
Nuggets with on that previous play, which was the 1st down, their 2nd 1st down of this first half. The Trojans with 9 first downs and 3 touchdowns, a 24-0 lead here in Hawley tonight. Handoff goes Burkle. He'll try and bounce left side, gets back into the middle and cuts around, able to get the 1st down and dives forward for an extra couple yards. It's going to be a gain of 12 on the play and a Nugget 1st down.
Great job by Sam on that one to read his block on the end. It doesn't look like it's going to last those. We've got a flag on the field in that realm of holding, but I thought Sam did a great job on that one, reading the kick out block and cutting it up, and that's where he found the big room for the initial gain.
If it holds, it'd be a 14-yard gain, but it looks like you say it's coming back. It's going to be a holding penalty against the Nuggets. So we erase that.
I'm guessing it was the block that Sam did a good job reading. I didn't see how it developed, but that's what they're looking right down the line at on the far side of the field to throw that flag.
So from the line of scrimmage back, they'll go to the 38-yard line. It's going to be a penalty for 10 yards. Fourth penalty for 33 yards here tonight for the Nuggets. And 3 of them on the defensive side. That's their first offensive penalty. The Trojans, 1 penalty for 5 yards. It was a procedure penalty offensively. Blitz shown there from that linebacker spot. You can see him showing Robideau. Pass right side to Groton. Airs it out. Slipped through his fingertips. Had it there. The pressure was put on by Heng right at the last moment. They had some coverage back there, too, to the Trojans with Braden Bredman, but that slipped right through the hands of Groton, incomplete.
That one was credit to Cole. That was right on the money for where that ball needed to be thrown. He dropped it in between both defenders, the corner and the safety coming over the top. Brady had a chance to go high point it, and he almost brought his hands back towards his face mask just a little too much there instead of getting it at its highest point.
3 minutes to play in the first half. Handoff goes to Burkle, and he is taken down the backfield. Another big defensive stop for the Barnesville Trojans. And again, Brady Kroll coming up with it for Barnesville in the backfield, and a big loss of 5 yards.
Just big loss of 5 yards, but this missed opportunities here. Big gainer by Sam, brought back by a holding penalty. I'm not sure whether it was what made that play go or not, but then dropped pass down the field. So just missed opportunities. Play calls are there, the opportunities are there. Guys got to execute.
Punt is going to be off the side of the foot there for Burkle. Bounces at the Nuggets 48, takes a Nugget bounce to the 47 is where it's going to be placed for Barnesville. So great field position regardless here for Barnesville with 2:20 to play in the first half.
That's not a typical Sam Burkle punt. He's been, last year, this year, he's been better. He's been better than that. Tough ask on a guy to go get hit the way that he did and kind of be buckled a little bit the way that he was under that tackle and come right back out with the punt. So now the defense has to stand up to it and try to keep the scoreboard where it's at here with the last 2:20.
Well, holding up in number of plays, they're up to 24 now. The Nuggets are compared to the 27 for Barnesville, but they've had a couple of big plays that have resulted in those touchdowns, including a 71-yard touchdown run by Peterson in the previous offensive series as a takedown in the backfield there. Good penetration by the defense to get the wrap up, and Heng taken down about 3 yards back from the line of scrimmage.
I think I have 82 on that one. I think that's Braxton
Bowe
that did a good job there. Sophomore getting some early run here in his career, but did a good job stringing that play out. And Crocious was coming, scraping down the line and coming from the backside on that play, but never quite let Barnesville turn that play upfield.
Trojans get set. Kraus hands it off. The first man through and working his way up to the 50-yard line and maybe taken down. It is a yard right in front at the Hawley 49 is where Wyatt Roller is going to go down for a gain of about 7 yards. It'll make it a 3rd down and 6 to go here for the Trojans.
Yep. Joey Ockery coming to the dive man off of his defensive end position to bring down a solo tackle.
Rolling in left side. Kraus trying to work his way back into the middle now. He's able to find a little bit of room, but he's taken down by a few of the Nuggets at the Nuggets 45-yard line. So a gain of 4 yards. It'll make it a 4th and 2 here for Barnesville. With 1 minute to play in the first half, they are up 24-0 on yourliveevent.com from Hawley here today. But again, the Nuggets forcing the Barnesville offense into some tougher spots here in this second quarter.
Really good job on that play by Kraus to be patient behind his blockers and carve out what he could out of that.
So 4th and short, man in motion. Heng will go left to right. Handoff goes up the middle, and it's going to be stopped by the Hawley defense. Joey Ockery coming up with a stop right at the line of scrimmage and forcing a turnover on downs for the Trojans.
Joey shed his block there. Stayed home, made sure that he was going to take care of the plays that Barnesville has that flow to the near side of the field, and didn't buy any fakes, didn't buy any ball deception, and he was right there to make that solo tackle and to drive his guy, backwards so that there, just meet him head on in the circle, and that's where the improvement needs to be shown in that physicality by Hawley on both lines.
Nuggets will have it at their own 45-yard line. 34 seconds to work with. They have all 3 timeouts. Shotgun formation. Fake the handoff to Burkle. Airing this one out right side. Brew streaming it down. It's going to be intercepted by a hang at the 25-yard line. And wrapped up right away there by Brew as he turns into a defender instead. So it's an interception thrown for the Nuggets. And it'll go right back to the Barnesville Trojans with 28 seconds to play.
You'd like to see him give Carson a little bit better of a chance to go run underneath that, but I'm not sure what the ref saw. But Carson he took 2-3 strides out of bounds, which was good defense by the cornerback. So Carson wasn't going to be able to be the first guy to touch the ball coming back into play.
So 28 seconds to go. The second turnover of the ball game for the Nuggets. They had a fumble earlier on. That was back in early part of this second quarter. 3 in the backfield. Kraus handed up the middle. This is going to be a roller. Pushing his way through to the 40, and he's going to be taken down at the 43-yard line as they started at their own 23-yard line, so a gain of 20 yards on the play.
All credit to the offensive line when the dive back can get deep into the safety level. That means the big fellows up front are doing their job.
So a timeout taken here with 22 seconds to play first half. 24-0 on your community co-op scoreboard in favor of the Barnesville Trojans. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more from Dale Scholarroot Athletic Complex right after this.
Community Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, businesses from Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Community Co-op appreciates the business of all current and new customers. Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
Back here at Hawley, the Nuggets trail 24-0. Got to send out a shout out to Jennifer Gieslin, Hawley Tax Service, new sponsor here, just added on today. So thank you, Jennifer, for being part of the coverage as well. When it comes to tax preparation or payroll for your business, give Jennifer Gieslin a call at 218-329-5048, located in the Downtown Business Center at 407 6th Street. Suite number 101, 218-329-5048. Hawley Tax Service. Jen is elated to give a call. Pass down the field. It's hang through his fingertips and incomplete. So it'll make it a second down and 10 here.
If Kraus leads him a little bit, that one goes to the house for a touchdown. Ball hung up, and I think Justin Koski was fooled in his coverage, and not sure Hang knew exactly where the ball was, but he was looking for it out in front of him, and it was a little bit behind him, so that one ended up being deflected positively for Hawley, but if he leads him a little bit, he's probably standing in the corner of the end zone right now.
16 seconds to play in the first half. Kraus under center again with his 3 in the backfield. He'll fake the handoffs, roll right side, has the lead blockers there as well. Bounces to the sideline, is looking for some more room. He's got the sideline to work with to go out of bounds and stop that clock with 8 seconds remaining. Trojans no timeouts remaining here in the first half. They lead 24-0 though, but they're doing what they can to try and tack on another one before we get to halftime and get some extra insurance before we go into that second half.
Yeah, down and distance situation here. D-backs got to give a little bit more space so that nobody gets fooled on any, with an end or a running back sneaking out. And, stay home, do your job, stay disciplined to the defensive keys.
Handoff, little stutter there, and the pass in the middle is going to be intercepted by the Nuggets. Vetter gets it, taking it down the house to the 30, 25-20, and knocked down by the Trojans. No time left on the clock, though, but an interception for Johnny Vetter. Got down the field pretty far to the 17-yard line, but that'll do it for our first half of play as the Barnesville Trojans will lead 24-0 going into the halftime intermission here. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about this first half and get set for half number 2 as the Nuggets trail 24-0 on your community co-op scoreboard on yourliveevent.com.
Thinking about your financial future can get to be complicated. At Bighorn LLC, they simplify this with a step-by-step process that's easy to understand. Call Kurt Fillion at Bighorn to set up an appointment soon. 218-689-6880. He makes the planning process seem much less stressful while giving you tips and advice that line up with your goals. Retirement plans, investment strategies, financial protection, Medicare plans, they do it all at Bighorn. With office locations in Bemidji, Monaga, and Hawley. Call 218-689-6880 and book your appointment soon. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA and SIPC.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With great facilities, small class sizes, dedicated teachers and support staff, and a variety of course offerings, make Hawley Public Schools the perfect choice for your son or daughter's educational setting. To learn more about Hawley Public Schools, including calendars, directory, menus, and athletic information, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or follow them on Facebook. Good luck Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
Norman County Implement 218-784-2961. Talk with Chuck O'Neill. In effect now, the early order programs on Amity beet lifters, Woolrich field cultivators, and Amity air seeders. Take advantage of these early order programs, special financing, and savings. Norman County Implement Highway 9 North Ada has one remaining new versatile Delta track. Call for pricing and huge price discounts and financing programs. They thank you for your business. Highway 9 North Ada, Norman County Implement.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With over 950 students, the Hawley Public Schools strive to provide a personalized learning experience for each and every one of their students to be the best that they can be. The lessons taught at Hawley Public Schools will stay with students not just throughout their academic career, but through adulthood as well. For more information about the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or like them on Facebook at Hawley Nuggets. Good luck Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
There's no way to count the number of sandwiches you've packed over the years. Hard to imagine this day would come. Yeah, there's still the same fields, the same roads, the same hard work. But now they're in someone else's hands. And you couldn't be more proud of who you're handing the farm to. No matter what the future holds, Ag Country is here to help you plan ahead.
Halftime, it is 24-0 in favor of the Barnesville Trojans here on yourliveevent.com from Dale Scallard Athletic Complex. Thanks for tuning in to our coverage here today as we take a look at the scoring drives for the Trojans in these first two quarters of play. Scored in their first offensive series, a 6-play drive that lasted just under a couple of minutes. It was capped off by an 8-yard touchdown run by Noah Kraus, their quarterback, who was starting in place of Adam Tonsfeld here tonight. Out along with a couple other players for the Trojans as well. 2-point conversion was good for Heng on a run to make it 8-0 at that point. Forced a 3-and-out on the next possession for Hawley offensively, and then able to cap off a 12-play drive, a 1-yard touchdown run by Noah Kraus, where they had 6 first downs in that offensive series. So half of their plays in that second offensive series of the evening were first downs for the Barnesville Trojans that started back at their own 27-yard line. So it shows their offensive production in that one, as a drive that lasted just over 6 minutes. Again, capped off by that 1-yard touchdown run by Noah Kraus. The 2-point conversion was good from Kraus to Andrew Peterson to make it 16-0. And then after a little back and forth, Barnesville able to take a big play, a 71-yard touchdown run, capping off just the one play for Andrew Peterson on a drive that lasted just 12 seconds. And Kraus to Hang for the 2-point conversion to make it our score what it is, 24-0 here at halftime. So Kurt Fillion along with Nathan Stoa with the broadcast here this evening, and it's really been, especially in that first quarter, Nathan, it was all Barnesville. Hawley started to come up with some good defensive things in the second quarter, but it's tough to come back from a situation like this in a game where you're playing a tough team like Barnesville.
Yeah, you know what you're up against when you see state-ranked opponents come into town, and you're building, and you're trying to build your way back up after a rough season last year. And the biggest thing is, and Coach Nats had mentioned it, you can't have missed opportunities when the play call is right and everything goes right, and you can't have the penalties. And they the 2 turnovers, one at the really inopportune time. That the interception was inopportune, obviously, and but 30 seconds to go in the first half, not as big as the fumble early, or as the penalties that helped Barnesville march down the field early, or a couple of them offensively that where Hawley shot themselves in the foot. Thing I'm the most impressed by and have been with Barnesville over the last few years, it's just the big fellas up front. I mean, weight room made guys that tonight have shown their worth completely. Sometimes the guys, the offensive lines can get lost in the shuffle when you have a game changer like Adam Tonsfield back there. I mean, I don't know, if stature, let's stature aside, Adam's the biggest game changer in two-way football on this half of the state, and so to see them be able to kind of keep chugging along the way that they have, that's all credit to the big fellas up front.
It really is. They handled things and did a great job, especially in that first quarter of play, as it shows with the time of possession that they had in that first quarter. They pretty much had it the entire way, 3/4 of that first quarter. As you mentioned, penalties, the Nuggets with 4 penalties, 33 yards in the first half. Barnesville only 1 penalty for 5 yards. That was in their very first offensive series. In fact, I think it was maybe the second or third play of the game. And after that, it was just all pretty crisp in that backfield, even with those hard counts, sending men in motion. They still did a nice job of staying disciplined back there. 11 first downs for the Barnesville Trojans in the first half compared to the 3 for the Hawley Nuggets. Total number of plays, though, pretty even after this first half of play. 30 for Barnesville, 25 for the Nuggets. But again, that shows some of those big plays that they had, some of those first downs, those drives where you have 10 to 15 yards a crack and then a 71-yard touchdown run. Obviously, that's gonna lower your play count down a little bit.
It's gonna take that time of possession down when you get those 12-second drives.
And as far as turnovers go, 2 for the Nuggets, a fumble and an interception. And Barnesville 1 turnover, and that was right at the end of this first half. Johnny Vetter getting the interception for the Nuggets. 24-0 is the lead, though, for the Barnesville Trojans here on YourLiveEvent.com. They lead the Hawley Nuggets here at Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex. Thanks for tuning in and being part of our coverage. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. We've got one more half to go. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more from Hawley right after this.
Enbridge's Line 3 replacement project will create thousands of family-supporting jobs. This $2.6 billion private investment in Minnesota will be an economic boost, bring extra county tax revenue for years to come, and a secure and steady supply of North American oil to fuel Minnesota's quality of life. We're focused on safety and ready to get to work. Learn more at enbridge.com/line3US.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With preschool, before and after school enrichment, and community education, the Hawley Public Schools are able to provide learning opportunities for all students. With academic clubs, athletics, and fine arts, the Hawley Public Schools has the right club or organization for your student to become a member of. To learn more about programs and activities offered by the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us.
Community Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, businesses from Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Community Co-op appreciates the business of all current and new customers. Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
Back here at halftime, 24-0 for the Barnesville Trojans. They lead the Hawley Nuggets here this evening. Again, we welcome aboard Jennifer Gieselin with Hawley Tax Services, our newest sponsor for the Nuggets broadcast here on YourLiveEvent.com. Tax preparation when it comes to tax season, give Jennifer a call at 218-329-5048 or stop into her office at 407 6th Street at suite number 101. Jennifer will be happy to help you out when it comes to your tax preparation and your service here with Hawley Tax Services right downtown Hawley. In fact, she's my neighbor, Nathan. In the office.
In the office. I was going to say.
Not where I'm at right now.
Well,
she'll be pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. Once
if
we
you
get,
need, if you need something, nobody better to figure out how to get it for you.
That's right. So yeah, stop on in. Jennifer's a great lady to chat with when it comes to your tax preparation. Again, set up an appointment at 218-329-5048. Hawley Tax Service, right in the downtown business center in downtown.
All your financial
Hawley.
needs in one spot.
That's right.
Look at that.
We did it strategically.
Yeah, I bet it's working out.
I waited in the distance until the previous renter was in that spot. We did it. Yeah, we got this figured out. Jennifer and I have it figured out. So,
Yeah.
you know, 24-0 is the lead for Barnesville over Hawley, though, and as we mentioned, it was finally we saw some good things, especially in the defense in that second quarter. Now it's to maintain in the second half for these next 2 quarters for the Nuggets to force some tough spots for the Trojans. And then they need to come up with some offense, to come up with some completions on those passes that they're airing out, and then just really try and handle a little better on that offensive line.
Well, yeah, you got to handle, do things to handle that defensive line that Barnesville brings in there. Those big fellas have, they've dominated the game on both sides of the ball so far. But just keeping possession of the football, it doesn't really matter what sport. It's a lot more fun to play offense, and you get that momentum and that feel and that excitement, and it can bring some of that positive mojo back. So, now that they should get the ball here to start the second half and just churn out a few first downs, try to get some points on the board and narrow the gap a little bit. But, even though a lot of kids are playing both ways, there's still a little bit of that mental break where it's not so much when you're the one with the ball and you're on the attack as opposed to having to be reactive.
And a couple of those players that are out here that we've mentioned, Adam Tonsfeld, in the game number 1 against Pillager in that victory, he had 10 attempts for 104 yards. Caden Zenzen, who was also out, had 3 touchdowns in that game against Pillager where they were victorious 36-6. Zenzen had, 8 total tackles in that game as well. Tonsfeld with a couple in that game. So contributors that they're missing here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are, like I said, Adam is as big of a game changer as anybody has in 3A, 2A, or single A football on this side of the state, and he does a lot of great things for them. But again, just to see that somebody can be next man up in that situation, and the offense is not missing a beat. I think all credit to the big fellas up front that and how ready and prepared Kraus was as well. And it's going to be one of those seasons where a lot of guys could end up in different opportunities just because of the fluidity of what we're dealing with right now. I know in the week 1, probably not enough to swing a game, but Pillager was without a couple guys as well, including I believe a quarterback or catching all that secondhand. But I know they were missing a few kids too, so it's gonna happen. I mean, we lived through a quarantine of our cross country teams. Other teams are having to live through that stuff as well. So we got to take it for what it is. We got to keep the right reasons for why all of this stuff is happening in mind, and you can't really sit there, complain or dwell or bicker about it, wish it was any different. You're just going to have to, coaching staffs are just going to have to coach up their kids, do the best that they can. And the kids are going to have to understand that it's an opportunity for, multiple guys to get through and get reps and, be better for whatever that section playoff is going to look like down the road, where you hope by then none of this stuff is happening. We'll keep our fingers crossed for all of that. But the more opportunities guys get in a regular season, the deeper you should be for, the important games down the stretch run.
Appreciate Coach Brian Strand providing the stats and information. And I know he gave me the starters earlier this week. I think it was Wednesday morning, just yesterday morning. I get my days all mixed up here. But yesterday morning, he said this is subject to change. And I think that's kind of the name of the game this year with any coaching staff. Coach Nats is the same way. I was like, well, today, here's how we would start. Tomorrow, I don't know.
Yeah, subject to change and to be determined are the big keys. And, we've avoided it on, as far as week 1 and week 2, as far as players availability goes. But top 2 quarterbacks missed an entire week of, because both of them had come out for cross country. When we got hit by the quarantine stuff, that meant they missed the whole first week of football. So Sunday wasn't there, and neither was Hayden Grani. So those are 2 guys that they're looking at a pretty valuable position to take snaps. So again, that meant Bradley Olson. That meant some other guys down the line had opportunities to just gain an experience in practice. And again, that's what you got to look at.
Exactly. Give these guys some opportunities that they maybe wouldn't have had before. As the kickoff of the second half is taken at the 25-yard line by Koski, and Koski's going to be taken down at the 41, so a gain of 15 on the special teams. and give the Nuggets a little better field position to get things going here in the third quarter.
I missed who it was. There was a really good block there at the, right at the initial point of Justin hauling that in. It was on the far side of the field. I'm not sure who it was, but good job there to shade their man out so Justin could read the block, come right off his backside, and good positive yardage here and good field position to start the second half.
So Nuggets will start out with that shotgun formation as we are just underway second half here on yourliveevent.com. Handoff goes to Burkle. He was trying to go right side and said, nope, that's pretty clogged up. And pressure put on in the backfield there by the Trojans, and a nice wrap up there for Barnesville to get the tackle was Brady Krall, and he has been in on a lot of tackles here this evening for the Trojans.
Yeah, he showed good speed there to chase down probably as far as skill positions goes, the quickest guy that Hawley has. And then coming up in support from his corner position was Brody Gray, 5'7" sophomore that's tasked with he's tasked with a little help over the top from Kraus there on Grattan, who he's given up size to, but he came and stuck his nose in. Might be a little worse for the wear, but nice to see him want to come up and join the fray there.
Second down and 11 for the Nuggets, and a snap that bounces a little bit. Some pressure was put on, but able to get it off, and it's going to be knocked away. Great diving effort there by the Trojans defense on that far side. Joey Mark getting a hand on that ball and forcing an incomplete pass.
Yeah, poor snap there that was not just a poor snap, but kind of was mishandled after it hit the ground, and Cole was rushed and didn't get it out to Koski as designed or as he would have liked. So now we're stuck in a third and long situation here.
So third down and 11 it will be for the Nuggets on that incomplete pass with 11:06 to play third quarter and trailing 24-0 to the Barnesville Trojans. Sunday barks it out here with the two receivers right and the wing off to the right side. Pitches it out to the right to Koski. Koski trying to find some room, and he is hit hard by Heng right beyond the 42-yard line. He was able to gain about 4 yards on the play, but it's still going to make it a 4th down and 7.
That was a good job of Heng flowing over and meeting Koski. It was just one-on-one situation, ball carrier and linebacker on that play, and Heng was able to get him and drive him into the sideline.
Yeah, Cameron Heng, he's done a very nice job here tonight as well, both offensively and defensively. He's come up with some great plays as a running back out there on the offensive side, and reading well defensively too, following right behind that big line that he's got that's been putting on a lot of pressure on this Hawley offense. Getting set to punt is going to be the Nuggets. Bradley Olson, the sophomore, punts it away, bounces and rolls, stays right around the 33-yard line. That's where it'll be down by Magnuson for the Nuggets.
Burkle took on that sweep to the near side early in that set of downs. He got whacked pretty good in that when Kroll chased him down there, so he was unable to get back on the field. So I guess that answers the question. We were looking for who the backup punter was, right? We were discussing that earlier.
That's
so
right.
Bradley Olson is the answer to that trivia question.
There he is. And nobody wins anything off of that trivia question because we didn't officially ask it to anybody else, I guess, right?
No, that's right. It was just us.
Just us. Maybe we'll do a trivia sometime, maybe for that last regular season game.
There you go.
I got like 3 weeks to figure one out, so that might be enough time.
Some bighorn swag.
Kraus is going to be tackled in the backfield again. The penetration there by the Nuggets defense. And Magnuson, first one coming off of that. Nice wrap up there in the backfield, forcing a loss of 1.
Yeah, again, we've seen quite a bit of improvement after the first 2 drives on what's going on along the defensive line and in the linebacker core. Seen a lot less, linemen being able to get off their original block and get out to linebacker level. So improvement, but hardest thing to do against a good team is you've got to put 3 of those downs together in order to get the football back.
2nd and 11 for the Trojans. Handoff coming in the backfield. Peterson finds his lead block, waits for another big block there off to the left side, and down the sideline he goes to the Nugget 30, 25, and he's pushed out of bounds. But a huge gain on the play for the Trojans, getting them another first down. And halfway through the Hawley Nugget territory as well, as they're going to mark it at the 20. Is it right at the 25 or a little? Yeah, right at the 25-yard line is where it's going to be.
Good job by the lead blockers there, and Caden Murphy had a shot at him, but he dipped his head and lost vision of the ball carrier. And at that point, it was a monster gain, and Koski was able to keep the angle and shove him out of bounds. So big gain for Barnesville. Like I said, got to stack those positive plays together, and that's really hard to do against such an established O-line.
12th first down of the night for Barnesville. Dropping back, they'll hand it off. This is Heng waiting for some more lead blockers again. Right up in front of him, falls right behind, puts his hand on his blockers. He's going to dive in for the touchdown. Another score for the Barnesville Trojans with 9:14 to play in the third quarter. And I tell you what, Nathan Stoa, Johnny Robideau just said, "Why don't you just come follow me? Put your hand right on my number and follow me to the end zone. I'll take you there."
Well, I saw a jersey stretch for a second there, and I thought, okay, we got a hold coming somewhere. But it was he was grabbing on. He was grabbing on, and he was making sure. Usually, you just see him put that hand on their back and follow him through and read it off. But he held on and had a nice little escort into the end zone.
Yeah, Heng 25-yard touchdown run, capping off a 3-play drive for the Trojans. Included a first down and there a touchdown. Faking the handoff is going to be Kraus. Falls behind the lead blocker Peterson, and that's going to be good for the 2-point conversion. On your community co-op scoreboard, the Barnesville Trojans add to their lead, now leading 32-0 over the Hawley Nuggets here on yourliveevent.com. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more from Dale Scholarroot Athletic Complex in Hawley right after this.
Thinking about your financial future can get to be complicated. At Bighorn LLC, they simplify this with a step-by-step process that's easy to understand. Call Kurt Fillion at Bighorn to set up an appointment soon. 218-689-6880. He makes the planning process seem much less stressful while giving you tips and advice that line up with your goals. Retirement plans, investment strategies, financial protection, Medicare plans, they do it all at Bighorn. With office locations in Bemidji, Monaga, and Hawley. Call 218-689-6880 and book your appointment soon. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA and SIPC.
9:13 to play third quarter. It's a 1-minute drive that goes 3 plays, capped off by a 25-yard touchdown run by Mr. Heng, Cameron Heng, a junior for the Barnesville Trojans. So a lot of young players that are showing some great talent here tonight for Barnesville, and some of those young guys here, Nathan, that are some of the sophomores that have had to step up have really done a nice job tonight.
Yeah, they've been incredibly efficient on offense, and it shows.
A kickoff there is going to be taken by Koski. He's able to bounce back to the right side. Didn't find any space up the middle and finds a little bit of room. Eventually taken down by the defense, Brady Kroll, but not until a huge gainer down the field and gets beyond the Barnesville 30-yard line up to the 28.
That good cut to bounce it back out to the far side of the field and put on the wheels, was able to make one of the bigger fellas on kickoff team miss, and Kroll was able to have enough of an angle there to drive him out of bounds. So best field position Hawley's had, and needs some positivity big time when you're down 32 rips. So this would be a great time to, 1 or 2 first downs or any way to find a way to put points on the board.
We'll see Sam Helgeson coming to the ball game here for the Nuggets. 9:03 to play in the third quarter, and yeah, that was an explosive play there by Koski, as Affeld looked like he was going to get him there right around that start of that play, but then it was the one that kicked and almost able to get him down the field, and then eventually wrapped up, as mentioned by Kroll, deep down the field at the Barnesville 30 is where Hawley takes over on that 1st and 10. They'll get a gain here of about 5 yards up to the Barnesville 25.
Yeah, good hold developed there, so Helgeson was able to find his way 5 yards down the field, as Burkle's over here on the near side of the field trying to get loosened up as he's hanging out with the man we always want to keep bored on staff here. We want Greg Martindam to be as bored as possible as the trainer. Unfortunately, he's got a little bit of work to do here, but we'll see if Sam gets clearance.
Split backs in the backfield. Handoff going to Koski, that's going to be. Powers his way forward for a gain of about 3 yards. That should get him a little bit, it'll get him closer to the first down, but still a little bit short. It'll make it a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, right on the 21 there, did a good job of being patient in one cut and then carve out as much as he could to get near the sticks. So, again, 3rd and short, playbook's open. Just got to make sure that we maintain possession here and find a way to put some points up on the board.
Just under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. 32-0. Barnesville leads here on yourliveevent.com as the handoff up the middle. It's going to be taken by Koski. A little stutter step there to wait for those blocks to establish. And I think the patience helped him out there to get him the first down. Yes, he needed a couple. He got 3 as the result as he waited for those blockers to get going and rolling against that tough defensive line that Barnesville provides here. And the Nuggets able to collect a first down.
That's about as big of a backfield as Hawley can put out there, with Manthe leading for Koski and Johnny Vetter at the wing. And unfortunately in that play, it's not supposed to develop the way that it did, where Koski's got to be patient and make a move that early. So offensive line needs to give him a little bit more time.
Back to pass Sunday into the middle of the field, and it is it looked like it was caught there initially by Ockery. He had about 3 guys around him, was placed just perfect right into the numbers, but they were able to rip it out right at the last moment there as he was coming down, and that was number 81, Joey Mark, for the Barnesville Trojans, who got the last rip on that ball. So great defensive effort by the Trojans, and what an effort by the Hawley offense, too, to get that ball right in the numbers.
Yeah, Ethan Magnuson ran a corner route, and Ockery mirrored him with a post on the backside. Same one I think we saw last week against Roseau, where it was just a little bit off the money, and that one was on the money and had an opportunity.
Oh, big old blitz there by the Barnesville Trojans. And once again, Joey Robideau, the sophomore, coming in, rocking the house in the backfield for the Trojans defense. And in fact, that was a pretty hard hit that knocked the wind out of Koski, as his teammates will help him up, but he was definitely shaken up on that play.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to come off the field just because Greg came out there to check on him as he laid down there. But yeah, that when Robideau blitzes in either of the A gaps, that's a monster fella there you're trying to keep out of there and communicate to do so. And the times he's come on those blitzes, he's had free reign to the ball carrier.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get hit by him. I know that.
We're both up here for a reason.
I'm glad I'm this far up here. Yep. I could still feel that from way up in the box. Man, 6 foot 235 sophomore for Barnesville. He is definitely plays a lead role too in that defense. You can see we've seen throughout the night he's been in on pretty much every play, especially if it comes anywhere near where he's at in that middle part of the defense as a linebacker there. You see him calling out the details to his defense and getting him pumped up. Back to pass Sunday, pressure put on, and it's going to be caught by Magnuson right around the line of scrimmage. He's able to jump forward for a gain of maybe a couple on the play after that loss of 1 on the previous play, and I think they got at least a little bit back. It'll be a 4th down and 9 here for the Nuggets.
Yeah, the Mason Grattan onto the field with his brother Brady were twins to the right there. I think Mag started at his tight end position, so we were looking at a tight end screen on that one, and it just did not develop. It didn't develop very well, and Barnesville was able to had a couple linemen stayed home in that situation. So 4th and long here, still can gain a 1st down at about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, they got probably right around that 7 or 8 yard line is where they need to get to. Looking right side, Groton up into his right where he needed to get it because the defense was right there again. Heng was there defensively, and he also had help over on that far side by Wyatt Roller. Those 2 guys have done a nice job in the backfield to put on the coverage as well. And that one's overthrown to make it a turnover on downs here for the Nuggets.
Yeah, my depth perception is not the greatest. That one looked like it was going to be pretty tough to haul in there, as it looked like their contact came a little bit early to Brady's lower body there, but that would have been a tough ball to haul in under clean situation. So
5:32 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Barnesville will take over at their own 17-yard line. After the turnover on downs, a 7-play drive there for the Nuggets that stalls out. 37 plays of offense for Hawley now in this game as the handoff goes straight up the middle. They're going for Roller, that was.
All right, they got me that time. Who was I following here? I was following Hang.
I was initially too, and then as he started to get closer, I was like, "Oh, you trickster!
Tricksters,
man, you are just a trickster." But anyway, that's a 1st down for Roller.
We'll assume that's where they spotted the ball, but and by the way, Hang would have had a 1st down too if he had it. But there was a reason he wasn't being tackled. It's because the defense read it better than the 2 clowns up here with microphones on.
He had more room because he didn't have the football.
That's true.
Nobody was following him. How does that concept work, huh? 3 in the backfield again for Krause as the quarterback. He'll roll himself, taking it left side, and he's going to be met by Joey Ockery. Getting the nice wrap up there and not letting anything happen. No gain on the play. It'll make it a 2nd down and 10.
Yep, Ockery stayed home, stayed disciplined, and was able to wrap and roll and bring him down. So positive play for the defense after the 1st down. They've got to stack a few of them together.
That Roller run there, too, it was 13 yards on that play as they started back at the 17, now placed at the 30. So 2nd down and 10, 4:35 to play in the 3rd quarter. A 32-0 lead for the Barnesville Trojans. As sprinting in is Jacob Hegna at the linebacker spot to re-enter into the ball game for the Nuggets. A fumble on the play, and it's going to be
Hegna covered on it. Yep.
By Hegna. So Hegna gets the fumble recovery, a turnover for the Trojans. And that'll give it right back to the Hawley Nuggets here.
Yeah, no forced fumble on that one. It just looked like it didn't quite get into the belly of the running back there. So, time for Hawley to take advantage of a rare Barnesville miscue here.
So they'll be at the Barnesville 32-yard line is where the ball is going to be placed.
Looks like I see Bradley Olson out on the field. I'm checking the sidelines for Sunday, but it's going to be Bradley Olson's first varsity series out here.
So Olson will get the attempt here. They had the similar field position in the previous offensive series that started at the Barnesville 30, eventually stalled out on a turnover on downs. As the handoff goes right up the middle, that is going to Sam Helgeson. And Helgeson is going to make his way forward for a gain of about 4 to make it a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, Bradley Olson is a fantastic athlete for a sophomore. The coaching staff kind of looked around and said, what are ways to get some of our best athletes on the field? And so that's where the position switch for Bradley came. Plus, he took advantage of the opportunities he was given when a couple of the quarterbacks were unable to be at practice.
So the handoff going to, Olson going to keep it himself, and he is going to be taken down after a short gain on the play. It'll make it a 3rd down and about 3 to go here for the Nuggets. So the keeper there for the Nuggets, and 3.5 to play in the 3rd quarter.
I'm guessing trying to get his feet wet, they'll keep the ball on the ground in a situation like this, but we'll see what happens here as Blake Manthy's the one running the play in, so it should be one of the bigger backfields out there that we can put on the field.
So they'll come out of the huddle, a 3rd down and 3 here for the Nuggets at the Barnesville 25-yard line as they started on a fumble at the Barnesville 32. Handoff goes right up the middle. Koski powers his way forward. Easily got that 1st down and more. Got an extra 4 yards beyond the 1st, and that will be Nuggets getting it up to the 15-yard line, so a gain of 10 on that play.
That good run there. The blitz ran right past Justin as he was able to explode through the hole, find a 1st down here. Looks like it's not gonna be quite 1st and goal here, so they'll still have a 1st down potential to gain inside the 3. It looks like if they need it.
So the Nuggets 1st and 10. That was their 5th 1st down of the night. That one right there as they get it to the Barnesville 15-yard line, as mentioned. 2:35 to play in the 3rd quarter. Handoff going to the right side, and the Nuggets going to be stacked up pretty quick. Let's see if he gave it to Manthy. I think it was Koski coming off that pile.
It looked like Manthy had it, but he didn't come out of that with the football, so might have set it down already and then helped his lead blocker up.
Yeah, so Manthy with the carry.
Maybe.
He was right behind, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Akri came off that pile, too. Looked like he was the last one, but who knows? Maybe just handed it to him when he was getting up. Said, here you go, buddy. Here, you hand the ball to the ref. Olson under center, hands it off to the 2nd man through, and a nice run there by Sam Helgeson. Slipping through a couple of would-be tacklers right up the middle. And he gets it all the way to the Barnesville 4-yard line. It'll make it a 1st down and goal.
Yeah, good hard running by Helgeson there. He's not a big man, but he does run hard. He plays hard all the time on the field. Wrestles the same way in the winter, but good hard running there to churn it out, get him inside the 5 and knock on the door here to try to change the left side of the scoreboard a little bit.
Yeah, the 32-0 trying to get one on the board here late in the 3rd quarter, and I don't know if they got a handoff. I don't think he did. He didn't get a handoff there. Olson is going to be just – the blitz was coming, and it was coming all from every direction there for the Barnesville defense. They're showing that as they tackle him in the backfield before he could almost even take a step.
Right, yeah, I was watching Manthy a little bit on that one as I thought he might have had the ball as he was the first man through the hole, and the blitz had run by him, but everything developed a little too quickly there for the Nugget backfield.
Down to a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Under center again is Olson with the split backfield. As they'll hand it off, Olson going to keep it himself. Tries to get beyond that defense, but they are making it extremely tough again as Barnesville. He'll get to probably the line of scrimmage right around that 6-yard line, maybe even lost a yard. So regardless, it's going to be a 3rd and goal, and it will be placed at the 6-yard line.
This is the time that the offensive line's got to get some push here. They got to do everything they can to grind out a couple yards of push and give the running backs a chance.
And that Barnesville defense, of course, is going to stack it in tight when they're pushed with their backs against the wall, and a timeout for the Barnesville Trojans with 26 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's a 32-0 lead for the Barnesville Trojans on your community co-op scoreboard as we're live from Dale Scalaroot Athletic Field in Hawley. The Nuggets hosting the Trojans here tonight, and the Nuggets will be on the road next week to, is it Staples? I believe is next week. Staples Motley.
Sounds right.
I think that is right. And then the let's see, the Barnesville will be up in Rosso next week. So a nice short road trip for the Trojans as they'll head up to Rosso. Actually, no, that's a home game. And then West Central area is where they'll be away.
Okay.
They'll be at Breckenridge and then home with Crookston in their final game of the season. So last home game for the Nuggets, which will be here on yourliveevent.com, will be coming up on November 6th. So we'll have a couple of weeks off here. And then November 6th, they will host Crookston, their last home game of the regular season, which you can catch right here on the live stream, and all the home games for the Hawley Nuggets, football, volleyball, and basketball, made possible by our sponsors, including our newest sponsor, Hawley Tax Services, Jennifer Giesland, Downtown Business Center. Give her a call at 218-329-5048 to set up your appointment for your tax service. Pass into the end zone, over to Acri, is good for the Nugget touchdown. Olsen to Joey Acri with 21 seconds remaining.
I like the play call and took advantage of Barnesville calling that timeout to try to preserve the shutout. And Olsen had a chance to. He had better on the short route, and he had Acri back at the pylon. And good decision, put a good ball on him that made it easy for him to run underneath it. And we got that left side of the scoreboard to change.
So 21 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. They'll try for the 2-point conversion. That's not going to work. They try and go straight up the middle, and that's going to be stuffed by the Trojan defense. So on your community co-op scoreboard, it is Barnesville 32 and Hawley 6 as we are late in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more from Hawley right after this.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With great facilities, small class sizes, dedicated teachers and support staff, and a variety of course offerings, make Hawley Public Schools the perfect choice for your son or daughter's educational setting. To learn more about Hawley Public Schools, including calendars, directory, menus, and athletic information, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or follow them on Facebook. Good luck Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
32-6, Trojans lead here on yourliveevent.com as the Nuggets will get set to boot this one away. An 8-play drive capped off by a 6-yard touchdown pass from Olsen to Acri. On a drive that lasted just over 4 minutes for the Hawley Nuggets. 2-point conversion, no good. So the Nuggets will get this teed up, and back to receive is going to be Hang Kraus for the Trojans. Oh, there we go. We got to turn your mic on there so you can actually talk, huh, still?
I was trying to figure out who the kicker was. Looked like it was Brett Daggett out there. And
the ball's going to be squirted through the hands there of the special teams, getting the hands on the ball. Cole Swenson out there and almost lost the grip, but able to keep it just enough, and Barnesville will take over.
Those eyes got wide, Those big fellas don't get to carry the ball very often, so you get your opportunity. Those eyes get wide sometimes.
Absolutely. He was ready to take off before that ball got in his hands, I think. So, but yeah, hey, when you get the opportunity, we saw that last week too with Rosso, one of their linemen that got the reception, and
I don't care if it's illegal touching.
I don't care. I'm going to barrel you over. Get out of my way. Handoff goes to Hang. Hang bounces to the outside, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 7 yards. Unless he stepped out right before that. It might be only about 5. It is. They'll put him out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So be a gain of 5 yards. We'll make it a 2nd and 5. Ooh, let there be light.
We get some light in here now. We're going to run up the district light bill a little bit.
Yeah. Somebody going to turn the heater on too? With the windows open?
Not for another couple
What are we trying to heat the whole neighborhood?
That's
or what?
Right.
So it's going to be a 2nd down and 5 here for the Trojans. Mask keeps slipping down. This is a tough one.
And Mason Gratton down the field now too. Sophomore at safety.
Handoff going to Peterson. He's had a nice night here with another carry. This is going to be about a 12-yard gain this time, and that's going to be another Barnesville first down, their 14th of the evening.
Big hole opened up on the left side, and the running back was untouched until he got past linebacker level. Caden Murphy from a safety spot able to bring him down.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter. As we enter the fourth quarter on your Community Co-op scoreboard, it's Barnesville 32, Hawley 6. You're watching high school football on yourliveevent.com.
Norman County Implement 218-784-2961. Talk with Chuck O'Neill. In effect now, the early order programs on Amity beet lifters, Woolrich field cultivators, and Amity air seeders. Take advantage of these early order programs, special financing, and savings. Norman County Implement Highway 9 North Ada has one remaining new versatile Delta track. Call for pricing and huge price discounts and financing programs. They thank you for your business. Highway 9 North Ada, Norman County Implement.
Welcome back to Dale Scholarud Athletic Complex, where the Nuggets trail the Trojans 32-6, entering into the final quarter here. As the Trojans have really done a nice job of really controlling things here tonight. Nathan Stoa joining me, Kurt Fillion, for the broadcast once again for all the home football games. One more will remain. That'll be against Crookston on November 6th. But yeah, the Trojans have done a great job, especially up front.
Yeah, they've really owned the line of scrimmage. And we earlier mentioned cliches, but cliches are cliches because they're true. And the line of scrimmage is the most valuable place in football.
Handoff goes. It was up the middle. I was going to say.
Dive man was met by Alex Skake there, and he was able to drive him back for a short loss. So 2nd and long coming up here. But everybody carried their fakes out well, but Alex got there in enough time to make it look like the ball carrier maybe didn't have it. But no, it was a good read by Alex there. He was able to shed his block in the interior line and make a play for a loss.
That was Wyatt Roller who had the carry right up the middle. Kraus still under center. He'll get his guys set in the backfield. He'll pitch it out left side. This is Hang to the 50. Beyond that to the 45 on the Nuggets side. And eventually taken down by Zach Perala. Yeah, but that's going to be a nice gain of 12 yards for the Barnesville Trojans and a first down.
We got a flag,
coming
sitting
out
on the 49-yard line. Was thrown right near a potential hold.
And it is. So this is going to be coming back. So strike that.
I like that when Mr. Reiter and I agree.
Does it happen a lot or not really? The way you said it, it doesn't sound like it, huh?
Oh, I just like it. I just enjoy when it happens. I'm not going to say we're, batting 1,000 in how many times we've agreed, but
you try anyway, huh?
Yeah, I enjoy the times that we do agree.
It's a 10-yard penalty for the Trojans, only their second of the night. 2 penalties for 15 yards. In fact, that was the first penalty of the second half. I was going to mention it in the third quarter, but anytime I do that, then there's a penalty on the next play.
Because we have that much power.
I didn't want to jinx anybody. Either side. Rolling to the right side is Kraus. Kraus getting a lot of that yardage back here for the Trojans as he'll get it close to the first down. He gets it beyond the 50-yard line onto the Nuggets side up to the 47 is where it's going to be placed. So he was able to gain 10 yards. He needed about 12 to get that first down, so it'll be a 3rd down and 2 for the Trojans.
And, that looked like a play where Hawley read it well, and athleticism and speed just won that play. It looked like, the D end to end outside linebacker both read the play well, just didn't have the speed to contain Kraus.
The 3 in the backfield again for the Trojans. They'll hand it off. This is the man that was on the right, and that is Peterson chugging his feet at the 40-yard line. Gets him an extra 4 yards as the result of that hard run by Andrew Peterson. Another Trojan first down.
Yeah, again, not touched until at least linebacker level, which, again, means those big fellas up front are doing their job. This time it was the left side of the line. So who are we shouting out here? I think it was Mason Moan was over here, number 63 and 54. That was, wow, how do I not remember that number? That's Robidou. He's doing what he always does.
Yeah, you were just trying to forget. Right?
He said he'd shake us if he had a chance, right?
Absolutely. Penalty flag coming out here as the pitch out to Hang. Hang is going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage, but the flag coming out right as the ball was snapped.
Bryant Carlisle was able to get out there, set, contain, and make a play.
So official will give us the call. It's going to be a procedure penalty against the Barnesville Trojans.
See, look at that. Look at you and penalties and slowing down the fourth
Look
quarter
at that.
because,
I know.
you know,
I was just because I was thinking it. That's why.
Yeah, because you have a microphone, you can jinx the world, right?
Just because you have a microphone,
I mean,
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, how many free throws have you missed for people?
Oh, quite a few.
Quite a few,
yeah,
right?
in my career. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. When I was full-time radio, they wanted me out.
Yeah.
They wanted me out as soon as possible because I just kept jinxing that. It's going to be it'll be a 2nd and 10 here for the Trojans. 9:44 to play in the game. They lead 32-6. As the handoff going to Peterson. Nice lead block there by the Trojans up front. In fact, that was 52, Carter DeBoard. DeBoard, one of the senior members on this Barnesville team, so a good lead block there up front. Peterson following right behind that and able to gain 9 yards as a result.
Yeah, Peterson running over his lineman might have been the biggest contact that happened on that play, but when he saw the hole open, he discarded his lineman and was able to find a few more yards there to find contact with the tackler.
Sacrificed, pushed him right into that right into the defense, and everybody fell down. The 3 backs in the backfield again for Kraus and the Trojans. Will hand it off, and it's going to be a roller. And I think they ripped the ball out of his hands. A fumble as the result.
Yep. Jacob Hegna there again, so nose for the ball and playing physical. Finds a way to change a little bit of momentum here, and 32-6 obviously is a lot to overcome here with the time that's remaining in the ball game. But again, a lot of this season for Hawley, and especially when you see a state-ranked team, this is about growth. And here's another opportunity for Bradley Olson to lead the squad and see what kind of positivity can be found.
Hawley will have it at their own 24-yard line after that fumble on that 3rd down situation. It's recovered by the Nuggets. They'll have it 1st down and 10, try and go straight up the gut, and that is going to be stuffed pretty quick by the Barnesville defense.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of success. We've seen a lot more success with the quick hitting plays. The quick hitting plays that it developed in the running game as opposed to the ones that take a little bit longer. It's just been hard for the Nugget offensive line to keep the big fellas from Barnesville out of the backfield. And now we got Wyatt Dunham coming off. He got twisted up a little bit underneath that pile as he was blocking on the left side of the line there. So he'll get checked out.
Yeah, went right behind. They were going right behind Dunham and his side of the line. Dropping back to pass. This is Olson. Pass into the middle is right on the numbers of where he needed to be for Ockery. But again, the pressure put on by the Barnesville defense, and they come up with a great stop. Noah Kraus back there, along with Cameron Heng. Those 2 guys sandwiching in that receiver in Ockery and not letting him get that ball. Nice defense by the Trojans.
Yeah, good ball thrown by Olson there. Same routes that were run as they were down on the other end of the field going towards the end zone. It was Magnuson with a corner route and Ockery with the post, just unable to connect.
I formation backfield it was. 2nd man through, and boy, Mr. I think that's Robideau coming in there once again. It is helping him up after the play as well. Some good sportsmanship shown there for Robideau, who's been in on so many plays here tonight, reading so well and getting those big hits as the sophomore, leading the way in that middle part of the defense. So another big stop, 32-6. The lead for the Trojans. 7:28 to play in the game. Stay tuned after the game. We'll go into our post-game show. We'll try and catch up with the coaches here. We'll name our player of the game, brought to you by Enbridge, as well as the Nuggets getting set with a punt on a 4th and 10, and this one over the head of Olson, but able to get it back. His punt is going to be short in Hawley territory at the 38 is where they are going to down this one.
Good composure there by Olson in a not so advantageous situation there with the questionable snap, but he was able to chase it down, and there wasn't a ton of rush out of Barnesville as they were setting up more of a return, and he was able to keep his composure and get off a decent punt for the situation.
So at the Hawley 39-yard line is where Barnesville is going to take over with 7:05 to play in this game. Again, both teams will be on the road next week. Long road trip for the Nuggets as they'll take on Staples Motley over in Staples, and it's going to be a road trip up to Rosso for the Barnesville Trojans next week. As the
Owen Riddle in at quarterback.
Rolling to the right side. Yep, Riddle, the new quarterback, is going to be stuffed on the play. And that's going to be the defense.
Johnny Vetter coming in, filling the hole quickly there and driving him back. That's what you're looking for out of those interior linebackers, is to see them hit that hole hard when they make the read and then continue to keep your feet driving through the tackle. Exactly what Vetter did on that play.
Gavin Knutson coming into the game along with Brett Daggett on the Hawley side defensively, getting a chance, an opportunity out there. Also, Mason Groton stepping out as a safety defensively.
Yeah, only a couple starters left out there on the Hawley side.
Man in motion coming in here. Peterson, and the pitch out to the right side is going to be knocked loose, and the Nuggets able to come up with the fumble recovery. And that was Vetter coming up with it.
Yeah, Riddle got a little confused there, as it looked like he was gonna pitch it to the near side of the field, and realized he had taken the wrong footwork steps there. And you don't often see the toss play nearly get intercepted, but that was a tough play for the running back, all things considered, and Vetter was there to fall on it. So I guess we'll say he was Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, can we hit a new level of corniness there?
Oh my goodness. Where's the rim shot on that one, huh? Boom. Nuggets will have it after another fumble. The previous offensive series, which was 7 plays, ended on a fumble as well. It's the third turnover for the Trojans here tonight. Had an interception to finish off that first half earlier tonight. Handoff goes up the middle. That's going to be Shane Todd for the Nuggets, and stopped pretty quickly there by the defense. That was Ethan Larson, a freshman, coming in to get the tackle for the Barnesville Trojans.
Got a few number 2s in the specialty positions right now. Bryant Carlisle, who starts on defense, is in at the end position here. We've got obviously Olson in there, and Todd in the backfield here at the tailback position.
2nd and 10 it will be, as Olson will keep it himself as he fakes the handoff, rolls and cuts back into the middle, and he's going to get a nice gain there of about 9 yards. It'll make it a 3rd and 1.
It's going to come back with illegal motion as Todd fell forward. He fell forward in his 3-point stance and made it a 4-point stance at the wrong time, and so that one's going to negate another big gain for the Nuggets.
I was going to say, I thought there would be a flag coming out. I just didn't even see it drop there, and then it mixed right in with the leaves, so I couldn't tell.
It was one of those camouflaged.
One of those camo flags.
Camo
flag.
Yep.
Yeah. That will happen. It's going to be a 5-yard drop back here for the Nuggets, and that will be their 5th penalty for 38 yards here tonight. Their first of the second half. So the Nuggets have it a 2nd down and 15 at their own 38-yard line. 5:20 to work with in this one, as the handoff going straight up the middle, and again, a lot of white jerseys coming off of that pile, and one of the first guys coming in off of that pile was Connor Lokes.
I think we've got Benjamin Giesland, number 32, joining Todd in the backfield right now. Vetter coming off. 9 is Carter Haugen to come out there. Carter made some special teams plays last week, so now he's in here getting a chance at the wing position.
Yeah, Brennan Steele also in for Barnesville up front defensively. They've got a new defensive back, Aaron Baker, back there too, as the handoff going left side, and it's going to be actually Olson keeping it himself. We'll get up to about the 46-yard line, right at the 45. That's right at the 45.
Right. Olson nearly lost that one in the first fake handoff as he was going to pull it and take her around the end. So he did a good job of making something out of nothing there. But unfortunately, it's going to bring up a 4th and long, and Coach Nats is going to send the punt team out.
So a punt will be coming up here for the Hawley Nuggets. Olson will drop back to get set for the punt as they trail 32-6 to Barnesville. The punt is going to be a line shot, and nobody back for the Trojans. It'll roll for the Nuggets to the 30-yard line. So that's where the Trojans will take over at their own 30 with 4:32 remaining in the ball game.
All right, so a lot of number 2s coming out here. Was the call from the sideline here, so we're going to see a few younger jerseys out here. Once again on defense.
So punt to finish that one off, and a short drive for the Nuggets. And Barnesville will, actually at the 20-yard line is where it was put at. I think I said the 30 initially, but at the 20-yard line of their own. We'll see Lance Weiss come out there as a defensive end in place of Joey Ockery. So, yeah, like you say, some new faces coming into the ball game and shuffling in at the finale of this one. So first down and 10 it will be from the Barnesville 20-yard line after that punt for the Nuggets. See Ethan Anderson come into the game here defensively too. He'll be up on that line next to Weiss as a defensive tackle. The Trojans will get set up on the line here. It's going to be under center. Riddle will bark it out. He'll hand it off. And it's going straight up the middle. Everybody's still collecting on that play.
Little rugby scrum there.
Yeah, I was going to say about 18, 19 players all in on that play. Both sides. And that was going to be Dawson Gregg with the carry for the Barnesville Trojans. He was able to gain about 4 or 5 yards. It'll be a second down and 6 here for the Trojans. And Riddle will get his offense set once again. Get a few more reps here before the completion of this ball game. Riddle will hand it off. And it's going to be taken by, was it Greg again? No. That was Aaron Baker with the carry this time for the Barnesville Trojans.
And Lance Weiss making the tackle after Zach Perala was able to come up and set a little bit of an edge to contain, and Weiss was able to chase it down and jump on from the back and bring down the ball carrier.
Third down and 1 it'll be for Barnesville. Caden Larson coming in from the sideline here on the Hawley side. The Trojans will get set. They also had a new running back there. That is Carson Hagan, a sophomore. He's on the left side of that, closest to your screen as you're looking at the video. Handoff goes up it's just Riddle keeping it himself, and he is going to try the quarterback keep. He just needed the 1 yard, and he goes well beyond that to get a gain of 9 and another first down for the Trojans.
That good confident run out of the young fella after a rough first series there. He's getting his feet underneath him here, and made a nice play there to extend this drive.
It's their 4th play of the offensive series. That first down was their 16th of the night for Barnesville. Nuggets with 6 first downs offensively here tonight. They got the 1 touchdown to go along with it. Handoff goes straight up the middle again, and this is going to be coming off that pile, number 40. That's Connor Lokes. Lokes, a sophomore. Getting some.
Yeah, Lance Weiss made the play there. You know, you don't see a ton of one-on-one plays in the middle on a dive situation, but Lance was able to make the read, take care of his responsibility, and stop him for no gain.
Down to 2 minutes remaining here in this 4th quarter of play. Trojans will improve to 2-0 after the victory here tonight over the Nuggets. The handoff goes to the second man through. That was Dawson Gregg, a freshman. Was a running back getting an attempt here late in this ball game. It'll be a loss of 1.
Yeah, Weiss again, and Ethan Anderson that time joining him. I believe it was, or 52. Check that, Ryan Spear sticking his nose in there to combine with Weiss for that tackle. So another positive play here for the young fellas, getting a few reps here, and which again, we talked with the fluidity of 2020. These plays can be, plays like this aren't just throwaway plays. These are chances to improve and get your feet wet going into a season of all sorts of uncertainty.
Justin Kruger, Mason Moen up there, along with Ethan Larson on the left side of that offensive line for the Trojans. They also brought in Isaac Manival into the ball game, so I was trying to get some of those names out there, the guys that are out for the two teams.
Yeah.
We've got Carter DeBoard out there offensively too for Barnesville.
That Dalton Flayton coming through from his linebacker position and making a big stick there to drop the ball carrier for a loss. So we got at least one more snap here for Barnesville.
So yeah, the 4th down and long, 4th and 13 is what it'll be. Barnesville has possession at their own 38-yard line. 3 in the backfield again. Riddle calls out the signal, a collision in the backfield with his running back. And this time it is Aiden Hauk who's into the ball game. He gets the carry, but it'll be a turnover on downs for the Trojans.
Oh, a bunch of Hawley players getting there to gang tackle, so some good things seen out of the number 2, when we go number 2s versus number 2s here, but good defensive stand there by the Nugget defense, and not sure what they'll do here, but we've got at least one snap of the ball left.
So the Nuggets will have it at the Barnesville 38-yard line for the final offensive series. Before we get into our post game here tonight, 32-6 lead for the Barnesville Trojans. They've controlled for the majority of this ball game. They led at halftime 24-0 on some big plays that they had offensively. Back to pass, Olsen airs this one out right side, trying to find, was it Magnuson?
Magnuson over there, yep.
Coverage in the backfield by the Trojans, number 14, Brody Gray. And also back there too, Owen Riddle.
Yeah, the corner.
Defensive backs.
The corner and post combination there. Unable to connect on that. Little bit of heat felt by Olsen on that one.
So it'll make it a 2nd down and 10 at the Barnesville 38-yard line. So they're trying to get another one on the board here, get some of these younger guys some reps, but the opportunity offensively. 2 backs in the backfield with the wing off to the right. Olsen hands it off straight up the middle. They're going to go to Shane Todd, and Todd is going to be able to make his way forward for a gain of about 6 on that play. And that should do it for the contest here tonight. Final score on your community co-op scoreboard. Barnesville gets the win 32-6 over the Hawley Nuggets as they improve to 2-0, and the Nuggets drop to 1-1 with the loss here tonight. Stay tuned. Our post-game show coming up next from Hawley as the Nuggets fall to the Barnesville Trojans. You heard the game live on yourliveevent.com.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With over 950 students, the Hawley Public Schools strive to provide a personalized learning experience for each and every one of their students to be the best that they can be. The lessons taught at Hawley Public Schools will stay with students not just throughout their academic career, but through adulthood as well. For more information about the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or like them on Facebook at Hawley Nuggets. Good luck, Nuggets, from the Hawley Public Schools.
There's no way to count the number of sandwiches you've packed over the years. Hard to imagine this day would come. Yeah, there's still the same fields, the same roads, the same hard work. But now they're in someone else's hands. And you couldn't be more proud of who you're handing the farm to. No matter what the future holds, Ag Country is here to help you plan ahead.
Enbridge's Line 3 replacement project will create thousands of family-supporting jobs. This $2.6 billion private investment in Minnesota will be an economic boost, bring extra county tax revenue for years to come, and a secure and steady supply of North American oil to fuel Minnesota's quality of life. We're focused on safety and ready to get to work. Learn more at enbridge.com/line3us.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With preschool, before and after school enrichment, and community education, the Hawley Public Schools are able to provide learning opportunities for all students. With academic clubs, athletics, and fine arts, the Hawley Public Schools has the right club or organization for your student to become a member of. To learn more about programs and activities offered by the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us.
Community Co-op provides energy solutions, Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, businesses from Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Community Co-op appreciates the business of all current and new customers. Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
Thinking about your financial future can get to be complicated. At Bighorn LLC, they simplify this with a step-by-step process that's easy to understand. Call Kurt Fillion at Bighorn to set up an appointment soon. 218-689-6880. He makes the planning process seem much less stressful while giving you tips and advice that line up with your goals. Retirement plans, investment strategies, financial protection, Medicare plans, they do it all at Bighorn. With office locations in Bemidji, Monaga, and Hawley. Call 218-689-6880 and book your appointment soon. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA and SIPC.
Back here in our post-game show, and the victory for the Barnesville Trojans, 32-6 over the Hawley Nuggets. Kurt Fillion and Nathan Stoa with the coverage here tonight on yourliveevent.com. We appreciate you tuning in to the game here this evening. And really, that first half of play is what set things apart here, Nate, as 24-0 at halftime was the lead for the Trojans, and they just kind of maintained after that. They controlled the tempo right away in this game, especially in that first quarter when they controlled the time of possession. They controlled the line of scrimmage up front, just did everything they needed to really set this game apart early on here tonight.
Yeah, control is a great word to use to talk about what they established in the first quarter of the game. I mean, they put any doubts away that that missing some of their key players was going to impact them greatly today. And so Kraus did a really good job filling in for Tonsfeld, and down the line they did a good job covering up for any holes that they thought might have been there, and they took control right off the bat with those first two drives. I mean, I think it was one negative play on a procedure penalty. Other than that, they marched, and from that point on, it was arm's length at best for the Nuggets, and then a couple big plays and short drives, and Barnesville was able to extend everything.
Yeah, and in this game, the scoring drives for the Trojans came in that first quarter of play with 9:58 remaining. Capped off a 6-play drive, an 8-yard touchdown run by Noah Kraus. 2-point conversion was good for Cameron Hang to make it 8-0 at that point. A 3-and-out forced, and then it was a long drive that went started at 7:51 mark of the first quarter, ended at 1:37 remaining. A 12-play drive where half of those plays were first downs for the Trojans, and a 1-yard touchdown run by Kraus. The 2-point conversion was Kraus to Andrew Peterson to make it 16-0 at that point. Barnesville scoring again midway through the second quarter with 4:54 remaining. A 1-play drive that went 71 yards for Andrew Peterson. Kraus to Hang for the 2-point conversion to make it 24-0, our halftime score. Barnesville able to score again once in the third quarter with 9:13 remaining. A 1-minute drive that went 3 plays, capped off by a 25-yard touchdown run by Hang. Noah Kraus, the run was good to make it a 2-point conversion and a 32-0 lead. And the Nuggets were able to get on the board late in that third quarter with 21 seconds remaining. It was an 8-play drive that lasted just over 4 minutes for the Nuggets. It was Olsen to Acri, a 6-yard touchdown pass. 2-point conversion was no good, with our final score being that 32-6. The Nuggets, 56 plays of offense. They had 6 first downs here tonight, 5 penalties for 38 yards, and 2 turnovers, a fumble and an interception. Barnesville, 52 plays of offense. It was 16 first downs, 2 penalties for 15 yards, and 3 turnovers here tonight, a couple fumbles and an interception. They improved to 2-0 with the victory, and the Nuggets dropped to 1-1 with the loss here tonight. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more on our post-game report. Barnesville defeating Hawley here tonight on yourliveevent.com, 32-6.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With great facilities, small class sizes, dedicated teachers and support staff, and a variety of course offerings, make Hawley Public Schools the perfect choice for your son or daughter's educational setting. To learn more about Hawley Public Schools, including calendars, directory, menus, and athletic information, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or follow them on Facebook. Good luck Nuggets from the Hawley Public Schools.
Norman County Implement 218-784-2961. Talk with Chuck O'Neill. In effect now, the early order programs on Amity beet lifters, Woolrich field cultivators, and Amity air seeders. Take advantage of these early order programs, special financing, and savings. Norman County Implement Highway 9 North Ada has one remaining new versatile Delta track. Call for pricing and huge price discounts and financing programs. They thank you for your business. Highway 9 North Ada, Norman County Implement.
Back here in our post-game report, let's get into some post-game coaches' comments here as Peter Natz, head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, joining us after the loss to Barnesville on Thursday night. And as we expected, Coach, a hard-fought battle with these guys, and they really controlled the tempo in that first half of play, especially the first quarter of play, to get things started here tonight.
Yeah, they did. They got off to a quick start, played with a lot of fire and emotion, and we did not. Just like you and I had talked about before the game, we can't put the ball on the ground and we can't have a slow start, and that's exactly what happened tonight. The slow start got us, and then the lack of emotion was disappointing. We didn't have a lot of fire. We didn't have any intensity, and it doesn't matter who you're playing or what caliber of team you're playing. If you don't have some intensity, you're going to be in big trouble. And we got in trouble in a hurry and big trouble too.
Yeah, because from that point on, it was pretty back and forth. Once they started to get some things done on the defensive side and start to make some of those stops, you could really see the energy level start to bounce up a little bit. But like you say, if you don't do it right from the start, that's what's going to happen, and they maintain throughout the remainder of the game.
Yeah, when you're late to school, you're tardy. When you're late to starting a football game, you're starting behind too. You're putting yourself behind the eight ball, and it was not a great effort tonight, especially starting out. We did have some nice series defensively, but they controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides for, I would say, 97% of the game. We had three really good defensive series. We had 2 3-and-outs, and then we stopped them at a fourth down stop. But 3 series that ain't enough. That ain't enough good football to win any football game. And it stings for the kids. They're stinging right now a little bit. We went easy on them after the game. We got some time to heal up and got some time to get away from school, get away from each other, and hopefully stay away from big groups and stuff like that. But we just got to come back and go back to work. And we talked before the game, we needed to get better. We needed to play better than we played last week. We didn't play better than any part of the game that we played last week. We didn't play better than any of that tonight. So that was the message, is we got to continue to get better. And you do that by coming back and getting back to work on Monday.
Yeah, and like you say, this is an opportunity for them to get a little bit of a break and a breather, just to kind of reset a little bit. I'm sure after a week like this, a shorter week, and with everything that's going on, I'm sure it takes a toll mentally on the kids too, with everything that's going on right now.
Well, yeah, and Barnesville is missing several of their big gun players tonight too, and we didn't say anything to anybody, but I'm sure that our kids knew that Townsville wasn't going to play, that Zen wasn't going to play, that Ackerson wasn't going to be in the game. I'm sure our kids knew that, and well, they don't have their 3 of their top 5 players. This is going to be a cakewalk, and that doesn't happen with Barnesville. They're too deep, they're too experienced, and they're too strong and too tough to be able to take it easy ever. So we just have to reset our game plan and get a different mindset coming in next week. We got to start over again and get going and get better.
I was going to say, I haven't had a chance to see them over the last couple of years, but with what they had here tonight, I meant to have 3 more guys who have that kind of production and that kind of effect on a team. That's a lot of quality right there.
It is. They've got a fantastic squad. Brian will tell you, he won't mince words about it this year. He's got a good squad. He'll tell you that. And they are good. And that's the way it is.
and they're going to be good until somebody makes them not good. You know, you got to knock them off, and we certainly didn't have the squad to do that tonight, nor did we put forth the quality enough effort to do that.
Next week, you guys long road trip, right? Over to Staples?
Long enough.
Yeah.
Long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No idea what they have. I think Schmitty said they've got some pretty good size, but other than that, I have no idea. It's been a long time since we saw those guys, and we'll just have to take a look this weekend on some film and try to enjoy the weekend and let this one get out of our short-term memory quickly and then move on. This is not a game or a sport that you can really have much of a memory. You know, you got to move on. There's a new play every 25, 30 seconds, and you got to do it. And the most important play is the next one.
Yeah, and some of those hard hits here tonight that made my head hurt, so they probably won't remember.
Yeah, that was a bruiser. That was a physical ball game for sure,
yeah.
Philco.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, Peter, appreciate the time as always. Good luck to you guys on the road, and I know we'll catch you at the next home game, which will be a few weeks, so I'll get a little breather. Hopefully I'll remember. My short-term memory will be good enough to extend into a long-term memory.
Let's hope.
That's all we can do.
Have a good weekend. We'll see you later. Thanks, guys.
You too. Thanks. Peter Nats, head coach of Hawley, joining us after the loss to Barnesville on Thursday night. Take a quick break. We'll come back with more, wrap things up from Hawley, including our player of the game coming up next.
At Hawley Public Schools, their focus is on students. With over 950 students, the Hawley Public Schools strive to provide a personalized learning experience for each and every one of their students to be the best that they can be. The lessons taught at Hawley Public Schools will stay with students not just throughout their adulthood as well. For more information about the Hawley Public Schools, visit them online at hawley.k12.mn.us or like them on Facebook at Hawley Nuggets. Good luck, Nuggets, from the Hawley Public Schools.
There's no way to count the number of sandwiches you've packed over the years. Hard to imagine this day would come. Yeah, there's still the same fields, the same roads, the same hard work. But now they're in someone else's hands. And you couldn't be more proud of who you're handing the farm to. No matter what the future holds, Ag Country is here to help you plan ahead.
Enbridge's Line 3 replacement project will create thousands of family-supporting jobs. This $2.6 billion private investment in Minnesota will be an economic boost, bring extra county tax revenue for years to come, and a secure and steady supply of North American oil to fuel Minnesota's quality of life. We're focused on safety and ready to get to work. Learn more at enbridge.com/line3us.
Back here on our post-game report, Barnesville gets the victory over Hawley 32-6 and improved to 2-0. Hawley drops to 1-1 with the loss here tonight. Our player of the game is brought to you by Enbridge. Enbridge Line 3 replacement project will create thousands of family-supported jobs. This $2.6 billion private investment in Minnesota will be an economic boost and bring extra county tax revenue for years to come and a secure and steady supply of North American oil to fuel Minnesota's quality of life. Enbridge is focused on safety and ready to get to work. Learn more by visiting enbridge.com/line3.us. Enbridge player of the game here tonight. We talked about it a little bit here, Nathan, off the air, and I think we both agreed that that number 54 that was in on so many plays here tonight, the sophomore at 6 foot 235, Johnny Robideau. Boy, I don't know if you can go with anybody else. He was there offensively, defensively. He did a lot of things to create on both sides of the ball tonight.
He's been around.
Oh, let me hook you up here. There we go.
Man,
poor production. Man,
I thought I got
like
fired
a rookie
there real quick. That's okay.
You were just momentarily.
Momentarily. All right, I'll get it back. No, he creates havoc on the defensive side of the ball. Those blitzes when he came through. I mean, he was incredibly hard to handle, and offensively he's done a lot. By the time he graduates, people are gonna get him the Evan Eschmeyer treatment. He's gonna been around for so long, and that's a random Northwestern college basketball reference for anybody that's a dork like me. But I mean, the kid's been starting on a football team since 8th grade. That doesn't happen very often, regardless of the size of the school that you're at. And you can see the impact he has on what Barnesville tries to do. And I got to imagine if they need a big 3rd down or 4th down conversion late in the season in playoff football, he's the man that they're going to run behind. He's just done a ton of things for him. He showed it tonight, and he's done it throughout his career.
Yeah, and I can see that being a positive for these guys. I mean, I didn't until I looked at the roster list and saw him on some of those plays initially. I would have thought he was a senior. I mean, the way he was holding himself together out there and the way that he was leading and communicating with his teammates as a sophomore, that's a great thing to see for a coaching staff, knowing that you've got a guy like that that's willing to coach up some of the guys that are even older than him.
Yeah, no, he's an impressive football player, and he's a big key to what they're doing, and the entire line on both sides of the ball was huge for what they did tonight. Like I said, missing Tonsfeld, missing Zenzen. I'm sure they skipped a beat in their eyes, because you don't just replace game changers like Tonsfeld, but at the same time, the O line and the D line were both they were both ready to roll tonight. And as Coach Natch mentioned, they were unhappy. Our guys came out on their heels a little bit, but one thing you get when you always want to test yourself against the best, and this should be one of those history lessons where they hold on to some of the good things and what it took to make plays against quality opponent, and kind of get rid of some of that bad taste, as they have that short memory, and get back on the field and use these lessons against the Staples and the rest of the schedule.
So Johnny Robideau, congratulations. You are our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game here tonight on yourliveevent.com, and the victory for the Barnesville Trojans 32-6 over the Hawley Nuggets. Well, that'll wrap it up for our coverage here tonight. Again, thanks to all the sponsors for helping make our broadcast possible. And again, a shout out to our newest sponsor here as well, Hawley Tax Services, Jennifer Giesland. Give her a call for your tax preparation needs at 218-329-5048 in the Downtown Business Center here in Hawley. Nuggets will be on the road taking on Staples Motley over in Staples next week. And again, our coverage here on yourliveevent.com, only the home games. So our next broadcast will be coming up on November 6th in the final regular season home game against the Crookston Pirates. So you'll be able to check that out in a few weeks. So we'll have a couple weeks break to shore up our game, huh?
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out. We'll watch some film ourselves, and make sure we can fix up some of those miscues, and I cannot stumble and trip over my words, and
we'll make it work.
We'll
right?
make it work. Hey,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm not trying to take Tony Romo's job anytime soon.
Yeah. How about Joe Buck? I called you the Joe Buck of Hawley Nuggets football today.
About 6 years ago, that would have been an insult. But you know what? Joe's growing on me, and he's as good as they come.
He's one of your favorites now?
Well, I don't know. He's no Gus Johnson, but
pretty close.
But yeah, I'll watch a ball game. I won't mute it.
Perfect. All right, Nathan Stoa is the one joining me here tonight. I'm Kurt Fillion. Nate, it's been awesome. We'll look forward to chatting with you again here in a few weeks.
Always fun to be on the air on R&J and your live sports.
Barnesville 32, Hawley 6. Signing off from the Dale Scholarhood Athletic Complex here tonight. I'm Kurt Fillion. Have a great night, everyone.